Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I hope everyone has a great weekend or is enjoying their weekend. This is just a quick live to go over two cases. First, I'm going to go over Shanquella Robinson case, of course, and then also I'm going to go over Jalen Lewis. And the reason I'm adding Jalen Lewis is because I had scheduled Jalen Lewis for tomorrow, but I decided to go ahead and do both today. So tomorrow I can spend my time doing some other things I need to do. So I'm going to do part one of this video. The first half will be Shanquella and what I need to discuss for her. And then the second part will be an update for Jaylen. And then tomorrow I won't be on unless something I really have to log in. Other than that, I'm going to rest on the Sabbath day, Sunday. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I always like to start with the petition. So make sure you have signed and shared the Justice for Shanquella Robinson petition. It's at change.org/Shanquella, change.org/Shanquella. If I have a mod here, can you please post a link to the Shanquella Robinson petition? And that's what I'm going to cover on the first half of this video. So make sure that you sign and share this petition. Yeah, so we are over 35,000 signatures, and I feel that I would have more if I actually shared it more in every live that I have done, but I haven't. So I'm going, like I said in my previous live, I'm going to start back doing that. So let me go ahead and get some Haze and some Hey Red Lipstick Hustler. She was here early. Be a Bossy, Shay Baby, Dukes, Panther Queen, Tina. Let's see, let's go back up. I think I said Dukes. Yeah, I did. Tina, Raw, Billy, Ruby Lee, Debbie, April Showers, Rain May Flowers. Okay, I promise. That's my last time doing that. Unless you like it, then I might do it more. Okay, Gotta Take 5, The Me Watch, Janice, Gloria. Hey Gloria. Hey Wanya, Awanya, Miss Audrey, Genuine Woman. Hey Maureen, I haven't seen you in a minute, Maureen. I hope everything has been okay on your end. Hi, babies and bros. 4 a.m. I in. Hope I can keep my eyes open. Girl, you can always catch the replay if you're sleepy now. Get some rest. Hey, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit the like button and get this video into the algorithm. Hey, Debbie. God help us all. Hallelujah. Yeah, never can get enough prayers and never can get enough of Jesus, right? Gerardo's last night live. Yeah, I'm going to go over that briefly. I'm not going to play his entire live because everyone can check out his channel, but I will go over his live a little bit. Highly favored. Okay, so basically, let me go ahead and do the first thing. Make sure I went over the petition. So let me go ahead and move on to the second thing on the agenda to discuss. And that is, okay, if you are not following this page on social media, let me go ahead and zoom in because I like y'all to be able to see, Hunty, see. Okay, that should be big enough. Okay, so the Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury Teen Advisory Board, Mario Black, he is the one that hosts these events for Shanquella, and this will be his third event for Shanquella. And this is actually a good thing because whenever he hosts these events, the media comes out to these events and they take pictures of the event. They do take videos of the event. They write about it. They put it in the media and the news articles, right? And then once YouTubers see the new videos and the new articles from the media, the news articles, they do videos on those they do videos on those news articles, and then they make a video on it, and then y'all subscribers get to see the updates and the commentary on what the news posted about what happened, and then her name is kept alive that way. That's how her name has kept going and going and going. And this happened in October, and by the time we found out more information and it started to spread around the time that video went viral, the brutal beating of Shanquella went viral, since like November 15. Everyone has still kept her name alive, and now it's January. So to be honest, every day something in the world happens, and it's easily for something to be forgotten or people move on to something else. So for her name to still be this active in social media is actually a good thing. Of course, there are some negative people out there just keeping her name in some negative things, but for the most part, everyone is positive and keeping her name in the limelight for extended period of time, right? So basically, what they are going to be doing, the same host from the other two events, some of the balloon release and rally, it says hashtag, of course, we always going to hashtag Shanquella, hashtag justice for Shanquella Robinson, hashtag fight for Quella, hashtag justice for Quella. It says our goal is 1,000 letters or more. Join Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury Teen Advisory Board, Team Pink for Show, True Healing Under Guide, along with the family of Shanquella Robinson on Saturday. Pay attention to the date. Saturday, February 18, 2023. So it's almost a month from now, almost a month. At 12 noon, starting at Little Rock AME Zion Church, located in Charlotte, North Carolina at 401 North McDowell Street in North Carolina. So that's 401 North McDowell Street in Charlotte, North Carolina. They are going to meet at the church. They are going to meet at the church at noon. They are going to meet at Little Rock AME Zion Church. Okay. And then they will march. It says we will march to the post office on McDowell Street to mail our letters of concerns to Mexico. Bring your letters ready. The addresses will be provided the day of event. So basically, what you are going to do is just write a letter about wanting justice for Shanquella, and you will bring this letter already written to the event. So don't get there and be like, I need a piece of paper, I need a pen, I need to be able to write my letter. It says bring your letters ready. Now, come on, people, y'all know how y'all can be now. Y'all know. Get there and y'all probably some people will probably stop by the store. Some people will probably stop by the store and get some paper and a pen and then write something up real fast and then go. Make sure it's about justice. Make sure it's heartfelt and you put some time and energy into your letter. Okay. But no matter if it's last minute or whenever you decide to write your letter, but you have to be ready with your letter when you get there. Don't ask for a pen and paper to write something there. Okay. It says bring your letters ready, people. And y'all know it's a march. Don't be on BPT and CPT. It's a march. So you got to be there on time because they have to meet at the church and then they have to walk to the post office to mail the letters. So that's going to be a march. Okay. So it's a Shanquella March. Okay. Y'all got it. Okay. And don't worry. The envelopes will be provided to you. They have pink envelopes. They will give you a pink envelope. That's the color they have been using throughout for Justice for Shanquella. And the address will be given to you that will be put on the envelope. Okay, so don't worry about the address. Just bring your letter and have it ready. And if you're driving to the event and you're like, oh, I don't have a letter, stop by somewhere, get a piece of paper, pen, and write a letter. Okay, so you'll be able to mail your letter. And it says, we are about our community, celebrating 10 years in the community. So this is basically giving information on how you can follow this page. And I suggest you to follow this page, especially if you're in the area or if you actually want to keep up with the events that Mario has. Follow this Facebook page. It's Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury. Yeah, so make sure you follow this page to keep updated on the... And then here is the flyer for the event. It says 1,000 or more letters to Mexico March. 1,000 or more letters to Mexico March. That's their goal, is to have that many letters. They are giving a lot of people a time to be able to go to this event by making it on February 18th, and it's a Saturday, so it's the weekend at noon. And it's also in February 18th, 2023. So there's plenty of time to get a letter rolled up and written and to attend the event and march for Shanquella. And what's happening is that once they go marching from that church to the post office to mail these letters, and everyone is putting their letter in the drop box, right? Because they're going to do it outside. Once everyone is putting those in the drop box, the media or the news will actually record the march and like the protest or the march for justice for Shanquella, and then they will put it on social media. And you already know, so this keeps her name active and alive. So that's a very like the importance of having events. Okay. And it says, join us along with the family of Shanquella Robinson, Saturday, February 18, 2023 at 12 noon, starting at Little Rock AME Zion Church. And that's the address. Marching to the post office on McDowell Street. So it's actually on the same, looks like it's on the same street, but probably at a certain distance, right? I haven't mapped it out. To mail our letters of concerns to Mexico, bring your letters ready. Address will be provided the day of the event. So yeah. Let me zoom out. So this is the page you can follow. I didn't mean to click on that. I'm going to actually post a link in the chat just in case you can hit like or follow this page for updates. That's the link. Making sure there's anything else that been posted. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so as you all know, Gerardo went live for part 2 of his interview with this attorney for Baja California Sur, Daniel De La Rosa Anaya. So I'm going to go over that a little bit. Oh, and I did talk to if you watch my video on my other channel, Dani Robertson, I did do a commentary on the interview that another YouTuber, Girl Is Legal YouTube channel, had with Sue Ann Robinson, who is allegedly supposed to be the lawyer for the Robinson family, right? So I did commentary on that. But before I did commentary on that video, I had actually reached out to Sue Ann myself to try to see if she could have like an interview or talk to me about it. But she did respond, but I have to write her back. I mean, call her back and everything else to see if I can set up something or anything like that. I also discussed with her Jalen Lewis just to see if she knew anyone like in the Mississippi area or somewhere that could possibly help with that. Just, but that's the only update for that for Shanquella. And now I'm going to go over. Well, yeah, she emailed me back and she gave me her phone number. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go over Gerardo's video. So let me pull his video up. And I'm not going to go over the full thing, but some people like to hear my thoughts on things. What we're talking about. People like to hear my thoughts and opinions on things, so that's why sometimes I actually do a commentary video on certain things as well. Okay, let me go to your comments to make sure anyone have any questions about the event. Okay. Let me go back up. Hey, Lotus. Yes, thank you for hitting that like button on your way in. And yes, thank you for hashtagging both Shanquella, Justice for Shanquella, and also Justice for Jalen Lewis. Hey, Tata. Hey, Bentley. No more drama. Yes, 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 Auntie. Yeah, sign a petition. Hey, Louisiana lady. Hey, D. Rusher. Sylvia. Teresa. Oh, don't I haven't forgot, okay? I know someone asked me about the concierge. Okay, somebody asked me about the concierge and they want me to call him back again because I didn't go through all the comments yet to read your questions. Trust me, I have not forgot, okay? There's a lot I need to do. And there's also with not Elise, Winter Donovan, and trying to get her not to be able to work with her mother. That is on the list as well. There's a lot of things on the list. I have not forgotten any of those things, but I have to take, there's a lot to do, so I have to take one thing at a time. There's a lot. Trust me, there's a big to-do list I have. Trust me, I know. Hey, I'm LA from NC. Y'all make sure y'all follow his channel. So go ahead and subscribe to his channel. What's up, Dani? I have signed a petition. Thank you for signing the petition. And I really do hope that other bloggers also help with the Jalen Lewis case as well, because I will talk about that on the second half of this video. The first half, I'm going to stick to strictly Shanquella, the first half. And then once I switch over, then I'll talk about Jalen Lewis. Okay. Yes, Hunter. Yes. Like, subscribe, and share this live stream. Well, get some rest. Thank you, Connie, Dani, Justin, and Shanquella. Yes, make sure you get some rest, and you can always just catch the replay. We should have the address and do the same from all over the world. That's actually a good idea. That's actually a good idea, right? What address are they going to send it to? So then other people can send the letter the same day, right? Right. So I can, now this is not my event, so I'm not going to, I can just make a suggestion. Okay. So let me go ahead and send that right now as a suggestion. Okay. Because some people, I don't know who they are sending the letters to, but that's like you're sending the letters, right? So one that like during the same time they would get all these pink envelopes about Shanquella. That's actually really like that's a neat idea, right? It brings, like, you can march, you can also have these letters sent, and then these letters are personalized, personal letters. And especially in the day and age that everyone these days, we all email and send texts and things like that. So letters, to be honest, are foreign. Some little kids might not even know what an envelope is. I'm just kidding. But so yeah, I think that's a really cool idea, right? And then other people have the address and they might want to send a letter to as well, and then on the same day, right? So yeah, so that's actually a good idea. But I will pass this along to the event organizer because it's their event, and yeah. Oh yeah. So basically, I don't know who they are mailing these letters to, but what I do know is that a lot of people that are Mexican officials are someone that has power over the situation. I have already added them to the petition as an email, but an email is very different from a letter because letters go into the mail, and to me that's more personalized and more, it's more personable when you get a letter in the mail from somebody, handwritten, compared to an email, right? But either way it goes, it still applies pressure. But I really do think that if hundreds of people, even thousands of people, send a letter, that will be actually like a good symbol or symbolic meaning behind it. You know what I mean? So let me go ahead and message him the event organizer, that suggestion, and then I'll move on to Gerardo's video. And then, oh my gosh, y'all, what happens if other people mail the letter, and then everyone can post pictures of them dropping their letter off into the mailbox? That's a way to create awareness too, right? If everyone on Twitter or Instagram tagged Justice for Shanquella, and then they showed a picture of themselves dropping it off in the mail, or just a picture of the envelope addressed to there. But wait, of course, make sure that it's not something showing your address. We're not trying to put addresses out there. This is just something I'm thinking of as I'm talking. So don't go on here posting your address with your envelope. Obviously, you'll post the other side of the envelope that's blank, that has no address and no destination or your return address. Okay, some people were wanting to participate from around the world. Okay, let me type this really fast. Okay. And if you do, make sure it's actually a pink envelope so it can be the same meaning as everyone else or the same thing. Okay. So I will get back to everyone based on the response because that's their event and I'm not going to control someone else's event. I would just make a suggestion and then go from there. Okay, so they will be providing the envelope, the pink envelopes. Hey Gwen. Yes, that's right, Billy. That was a good suggestion. That's why I like to bring things to y'all because that's a good suggestion. Like some people are from around the world want to participate, but then of course they are not in North Carolina, right? So being able to participate from afar will actually be a good idea. So I'll let y'all know what they say. 120 people watching and only 57 likes. Come on, friends, haters, and bone carriers in the bushes. You're here watching and listening. At least hit that like button. Yes, go ahead and hit that like button. It won't hurt to hit the like button. That's a free way to support the channel. Yes, I will try. I live in Pennsylvania. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and start with this Gerardo video, and then I'll come back to some more comments.
By virtue of the fact that the Attorney General spoke in very technical terms on the subject. So it's important to clarify some points.
En primer lugar, aseguró que la investigación que están haciendo sobre el caso de Shanquella Robinson está muy sólida por las pruebas que lograron obtener.
So first of all, I assure you that the investigation they are conducting in the case of Shanquella Robinson is very solid because of the evidence that they have managed to collect.
Tan sólida está esta investigación, según dijo, que hasta lograron que el juez librara orden de aprehensión en contra de la principal responsable de la agresión física de Shanquella Robinson.
So solid is the investigation that he said that they even managed to get the judge to issue an arrest warrant against the main person responsible for the physical aggression of Shanquella Robinson.
También informó que actualmente trabajan en la investigación complementaria del caso sobre las omisiones y coparticipación que pudiera acreditar en el feminicidio.
He also said that they are currently working on a co-investigation of the case of omissions and co-participation that could strengthen the charges of femicide.
Okay, basically right here, they are basically saying what I've been saying is that the U.S. has been helping Mexico to try to build a stronger case, like have more stronger evidence, because I said before to me that they did, yes, fumble the ball. No one can argue with me on that. Don't at me. I said what I said. Okay, so I figured that they were trying to strengthen the case and build like better evidence, stronger evidence, so that Dejeuner's defense lawyer, whoever she hires, or public defender, or whoever she has to represent her, won't be able to find loopholes and get out of this, right? So I figured that the U.S. were helping with it, like a collaborating. However, there are other people like experts, and even like an ex FBI expert who stated that, in their opinion, that the U.S. was actually trying to do like an extraterritorial case and actually try them in the United States and not actually extradite them, right? But from this interview with Gerardo, he's making it seem like they are still going to be extradited. Well, designate whoever they can actually charge later. But as of now, there's only one arrest warrant, right? That they are still going to extradite them to Mexico because Mexico has a strong case, and it was so strong that they were able to get an arrest warrant when it's applied for a warrant through the judge. So they are basically saying that Mexico has this. They didn't fumble. They actually have a good case, a solid case, and that the U.S. is only helping them, like collaborating with them to actually eventually extradite. But there's like a difference of opinion over here where a lot of people think that U.S. is actually trying to build their own case for the United States. But of course, the attorney, Daniel De La Rosa, is saying that actually it's just a collaboration to build a stronger case for like eventually having it extraditing, right? So that's what I'm getting from this.
Es decir, la doctora, los paramédicos y los policías, así como los cabos 6, están bajo investigación. Ninguno de los que estuvieron presentes el día del crimen ha sido exonerado. Todos, absolutamente todos, están bajo investigación.
That is, the doctor, the paramedics, and the police, as well as the Cabo Six, are all under investigation. None of these who were present on that day of the crime have been exonerated. Everyone, absolutely everyone, is under investigation.
Dijo que no.
And to be honest, he is actually throwing shade. Gerardo asking that question and stating certain things is actually throwing shade at some YouTubers. Oh, I ain't saying no names. But yeah, some YouTubers did post that the doctor, that they dropped the charges against the doctor. And I was like, what? So I did kind of like, to be honest, I was like, Gerardo, have you heard about the doctor, like the charges being dropped against the doctor of Carolina? And he was like, no, that's not true. Right. So I ain't gonna throw somebody's name out there, but they be reporting some fake ass shit. But I ain't gonna say their name right now. Cough, cough. But yeah, so everyone is still under investigation and no one has been exonerated, let off the hook yet, right? And that includes from the doctor, the paramedics, to everybody. And remember, we talked to that concierge, right? He actually said that the police were questioning the paramedic and even the chef, right? Y'all remember? Listen to that, the concierge video. I need to actually go over that video again. But he actually said they even questioned, they was like asking questions from the chef too. So yeah, wait, hold on.
El retardo un poquito porque tienen que estar intercambiando información y estar trabajando de manera coordinada.
Sí, así es, porque todo ello implica una investigación y también se desarrollan procedimientos para el cumplimiento del esclarecimiento total de los hechos. Y en ese sentido, pues es lo que se viene determinando, ¿no? En estos tiempos, tanto en las solicitudes como en los acuerdos que recaen a las mismas, ¿no?
El día pasado fue un servidor, hizo una entrega ahí de un juego de fotografías a la Procuraduría General de Justicia del Estado sobre el caso que sucedió el día del homicidio, aquel 29 de octubre. Una pregunta que nos gustaría hacerles son si ustedes ya verificaron si son fotografías reales, si ustedes ya corroboraron que corresponden a la vestimenta que llevaba la víctima ese día y qué tanto pueden contribuir a la investigación que ustedes realizan.
Bueno, así como este caso de las fotografías que fueron aportadas, se está determinando con las pruebas periciales pertinentes la veracidad, autenticidad de las mismas y van a ser parte de la investigación complementaria que se desarrolle y que se presente ante el juez una vez que se cumplimente el mandamiento judicial o la orden de aprehensión existente. Entonces, todo esto sí tenemos ya avances muy importantes, sin embargo, como es parte de datos de prueba, actos de investigación que se van a presentar ante el juez en la investigación complementaria, pues sí tiene que reservarse en este momento la misma.
Ok, lo entendemos. Si mal no recuerdo.
Okay, basically right there, Gerardo is trying to clear his name, right? Because people, once he posted that picture of Shanquella with the 2 paramedics and Dr. Carolina, people were saying that picture of Shanquella was fake. So he wanted the attorney Daniel De La Rosa Naya to confirm the pictures and say those pictures are real. So basically to clear his name. However, Daniel De La Rosa Naya just stated that experts have to review the pictures to make sure they are real or not. So he basically didn't confirm yes or no, but he said that experts will review the pictures and then later on, those are like key evidence that could be submitted to a judge later on, right? But I can say this, that the pictures are real because everything matches in the picture, from the furniture, the doctor. I actually showed pictures of the doctor and how she dresses, how she looks, her hair, her glasses, and everything else. I showed pictures of the paramedic, Mavi, how she looks, her tats, and how she wears glasses on top of her head. I also talked to the receptionist where Mavi works, and when that receptionist was talking to me, she said that Mavi knows about the pictures and basically already saw those pictures. And I actually sent Mavi those pictures on Facebook. She didn't accept my request, but that doesn't mean she didn't actually see it. But the receptionist confirmed that Mavi saw those pictures, and that's the paramedic. And I matched the furniture with the furniture that's at the villa, so that's all on point. The only thing I saw that was weird was that Shanquella's body seemed a little bit bigger from that angle, right? After that, another YouTuber, what's her name? I think Hollywood Next. She posted screenshots of her talking to Nazir, and Nazir actually confirmed that that was Shanquella in the picture. And when she clicked on the IG messages from Nazir, it was the real page for Nazir, and I know it's the real page because that's his real page. And I also talked to Nazir before, but he only wrote back one time on IG to me, right? And so that means that he does respond to people. If you write him something and he feels like responding, he actually will respond. And then, yeah, so basically with all that combined, that's how I know that the picture of Shanquella is real. Yeah. Because Nazir could have actually said, that's not me in the picture. The receptionist that works with Mavi could have said those pictures are fake, or that's not her in the picture. But everybody really confirmed, and all the evidence points to the picture being real, right? So that was just the question that Gerardo posed, is trying to get the state attorney to verify on live that it's a real picture, but he didn't do it. He said that they still have to be verified by experts and sent to the judge. So he's answering a question partly, not really, because he has a way of answering the question without giving up information on the investigation. So he's experienced. He's a lawyer. Remember, state attorney. He's a lawyer. He knows how to answer questions and how to speak, like be a public speaker.
En el segundo y último comunicado de prensa que ustedes emitieron de manera oficial en el caso de esta chica, se expuso que su investigación también se estaban contemplando actos de omisión. Esto incluye a personas que brindaron los primeros auxilios a la víctima, a las personas que estuvieron en el lugar, a quienes, o de manera general, o de manera integral, no sé.
Sí, aquí lo que se está desarrollando es una investigación no aislada, sino en forma integral, donde lo principal era establecer quién es en este caso la presunta responsable o los presuntos responsables de ese hecho con apariencia de delito. Ya está determinado en base a los datos de prueba existentes que hubo una agresión. Sin embargo, al hablar de integralidad de la investigación, es que estamos sobre todo comunicando que se está investigando pues, a todos los que tuvieron relación con los hechos. En este caso incluye pues a las amigas y amigos que estuvieron presentes en los mismos y también toda aquella persona que está en algún momento dado participó en la atención de estos hechos, ¿no? Entonces, todo lo que se está investigando y por ello se han solicitado diversas entrevistas en esa solicitud.
Basically he wanted to know like who all will be charged and like who are they like focusing on in investigation. And he's basically saying, in my opinion, that Dejanae is the main person that they are out there. Of course, like they really want to know who is actually responsible for the femicide, the person that they saw, like who is responsible for the assault. That's their primary focus or target. But additionally, they also want the fake friends. We're not going to call them real friends. They want the fake friends who are also responsible, who participated in the event as well, in the act or whatever. And then they also want anyone that, like the doctor or anyone else, they are investigating all of these people. But of course, their main focus is whoever committed the actual homicide. And we all know it's Dejanae because that's who was in the video brutally attacking Shanquella. Right? There's only one. And some people say, oh, well, maybe it's Winter and Dejanae. Well, then they would have made 2 arrest warrants, but there's only 1 arrest warrant, and they only mentioned that one video, right? So that would be actually Dejanae. Okay, that was pretty much it that he had in part 2. So I guess he will have a part 3 next. So let's see here. Basically, in this interview, they are basically saying that the state attorney believes that the U.S. is just collaborating with them and trying to help strengthen their case and to help with like a solid case against Dejanae. And then eventually they will extradite, right? So that's what they are pretty much saying. However, people in the United States, as including Chris Wecker, who I spoke on yesterday. If you're not on my other channel, Dani Robertson, make sure you go to Dani Robertson channel because I have videos on there as well. So let me pull that up. There are a number of experts who have spoken on this, and Chris Wecker is one of these people. He actually worked with the FBI for 24 years, and he said that based on what he's seen, that the U.S. is actually trying to do extraterritorial jurisdiction on this to take over the case and have them tried in the United States. So I don't know. What do you all think? What do you think, right? Is the U.S. just trying to help the Mexico and like strengthen the case and collect evidence and then eventually extradite? Or do you actually think that the U.S. is trying to do extraterritorial jurisdiction and try them in the United States? So let me go. This is my video. Let me show. Let me take. Okay, this is my video on Chris Wecker. It says Shanquella Robinson, former FBI director, Chris Wecker, expert opinion of investigation, right? And he go watch this video for the full video. I'm not going to play my whole full video, but this is on my main channel, Dani Robertson, right? So let me go back a second and I'll let y'all hear what Chris had to say. He's a former FBI assistant director for 24 years working with the FBI, different departments, including international affairs.
Her family and friends held a balloon release celebrating what would have been her 26th birthday on Monday.
They can't silence her. They silence her. They can't silence us. You know, justice will be served.
That justice the world has demanded. But how long does it take? What does justice look like? We asked former FBI Assistant Director Chris Wecker for an answer.
In extraterritorial cases, particularly involving the Mexican government, which is really dicey. It's hit or miss when you deal with the prosecutors and the federal police down there or the judicial police down there. They're hit or miss in terms of their competence, number one. Number two, their motivation to actually get moving on the case. So we have to get the evidence in our hands before we can actually introduce the evidence into U.S. courts. That's all done by treaty.
Wecker says a complete investigation could take months. For the FBI to even get involved,
you have to have what we call predication to open up a full investigation, which is reasonable facts that indicate that a crime has been committed, a federal crime has been committed. And that's it. I mean, but it's not guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not probable cause. It's just reasonable indications.
He says he believes agents have already gathered as much evidence as they can.
So I'm pretty sure the FBI is looking at the electronic evidence very closely. They're interviewing people. I'll call it interviewing because if you're not under arrest, it's not an interrogation, if you will. It's an interview.
That's our Brandon Hamilton reporting tonight. Mexican authorities are still investigating. The most recent update you might remember was the arrest warrant issued for an unnamed person on the trip, and that was back in November.
Okay, I just heard back from Mario, and basically he does not want to put the address out right now because obviously if you put the address out right now, whoever is getting these letters might already be aware of what's happening and be alerted to having these letters coming in or whatever else. And also the letters he wants to be sent the same day. So some people might be in different areas, but they might actually send it a day earlier, or they might actually he wants all the letters to arrive the same day at the Mexico, right? So basically on the day of the event, that's when he will post the address so that on that day, everyone will get the address, right? So that's the answer. So basically, if you actually want to send a letter, go ahead and prepare your letter and then make sure you are following that page, his page, and I will actually post the address that on my page on the same day of February 18th. That's when the address will be sent to everybody. And that will ensure that everybody sends the letter the same day and not some people sending it a month early or a totally different time. He wants like a mass. He wants like all the envelopes, like as many as possible sent on arriving the same day. If they're like sprinkled around, then that'll be totally different. So if he gives it out to us right now, then some people might not even show up to the event because they said, why do I need to show up to the event when I already mailed my letter off? Think about it. If you already mailed your letter off, you might not even show up to the event. So it's actually smart to post the letter the same day of the event, right? But at the same time, how long does it take to get to Mexico, right? So if some people are in Pennsylvania, like someone wrote, and they send their letter off, they want to arrive the same time as everyone else. So I get your point too. But as far as him as the event, he wants all the letters to arrive the same day. So he's the event organizer. So I'm just posting what he said, and that's how he wants things to go. Okay, so for Chris, thank you so much, Maureen, for supporting the channel. Thank you so much. She said, justice for Shanquella Robinson. Today will be the day. Thanks, Dani. Justice will prevail. Yes, justice for Shanquella. And again, Maureen, thanks so much for supporting the channel. Okay, so basically that's Chris Swecker. He worked with the FBI for 24 years, and in his expert opinion, he believes that the FBI is actually trying to build their own case in Mexico. He also spoke 2 other times about this Shanquella case. And let me see. He wrote, it says, this is from WSOC. It says the former assistant director of the FBI told Bruno the agency's decision to launch its own investigation is rare and a huge deal. This is necessary because Mexican authorities don't seem to be capable of investigating this fully without the help of the FBI, Chris Swecker said. So Chris let me tell y'all, Chris is shading Mexico to no avail, to no end. He keeps shading Mexico. He also has said that a lot of people are not competent in handling investigations. So he's really, really shady. And he has, like I said, he has experience with the FBI and working with extraditions and everything else. And he's really shady, very shady about how maybe incompetent some people are. And he said, this is necessary because Mexican authorities don't seem to be capable of investigating this fully without the help of the FBI. So remember that Daniel De La Rosa Anaya actually mentioned that the U.S. is collaborating with them to actually help strengthen their evidence, right? So this actually goes with what Chris is saying, that they are not fully capable of investigating this fully without the help of the FBI. And then Swecker says the FBI is invoking extraterritorial jurisdiction. It's a rare step that requires approval from the Department of Justice and is taken when there is a reasonable belief a crime was committed. It also increases the likelihood of finding out what actually happened. It makes it infinitely more likely that the case will be resolved, Swecker said. So basically, Swecker said that it's actually best that the FBI is involved or invoking extraterritorial jurisdiction, and that they actually had to get authorization or approval from the Department of Justice to actually step in and to do some sort of investigation on this, since it actually happened in Mexico. And that he also said in that video that it doesn't actually have to be beyond a reasonable doubt that the FBI steps in. It just has to be like a predication or some kind of indication that there was a crime. So it doesn't have to be like probable cause or even like really super strong evidence. It could just be an indication of one. But obviously, since there is an ongoing investigation, that means that the Department of Justice did approve this going forward with the FBI being involved. So that's what Chris Swecker said. Because like I said, once I posted that the other day, my video on my main channel, I actually went looking to see if he actually spoke anymore, because I actually wanted his advice, since he has 24 years working with the FBI. So then there's another article with Chris Swecker. Wait. So let me zoom in here. Let me get a little bigger. So he said something about extraterritorial jurisdiction. Right? It says Chris Swecker, a retired FBI agent, previously told WCNC Charlotte there is a statute that gives the FBI, the State Department, the ability to investigate the murder of a U.S. citizen in a foreign country at the hands of another U.S. citizen, but there are limitations. If the foreign country is willing to prosecute that individual, they will exercise that jurisdiction, Swecker said in November 2022. The other one is if that perpetrator is out of the country where the murder took place, and that country has no means of prosecuting or investigating the perpetrator. So he's basically saying how and why the U.S. can actually step in. And then finally, let's see. So what is extraterritorial jurisdiction? Some people might want to know that they might be invoking on this case. And let's go here. Okay, extraterritorial jurisdiction. It says extraterritorial jurisdiction is a situation when a state extends its legal power beyond its territorial boundaries. Examples include where a state maintains jurisdiction over its citizens when they are overseas, and where certain criminal offenses can be prosecuted in the state regardless of where they were committed. Examples are piracy and child sex offenses. So basically, as you can see, it says examples include where a state maintains jurisdiction over its citizens when they are overseas. So that's what Swecker is saying is being evoked by the FBI is extraterritorial jurisdiction. And they are basically, he's saying that they are trying to maintain jurisdiction over its citizens, even though they were overseas. And it goes on to say extraterritorial jurisdiction and its application is one of the most hotly debated issues in the area of human rights generally, and within the areas of business and human rights. Okay, so that basically that's what it is. So the FBI can invoke this extraterritorial jurisdiction, and that's in the opinion of former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker. And again, watch my other video on my main channel, and then I can also post a link to these other articles in the description box. Okay, so let me read your comments on this. Do you think that the FBI is actually invoking this extraterritorial jurisdiction and are actually going to try them in the United States, or do you think they are just helping and collaborating with Mexico to build a stronger case? And then once the case is really built and they actually help Mexico with all the evidence collecting and gathering and having a strong, solid case with hardly any loopholes that can be pulled by Dejanay's defense team. And then after that, they will extradite her to Mexico. So why is there's two separate investigations going on, but twice now the State Attorney of Mexico, Baja California Sur, Daniel De La Rosa, is saying that it's not just like two separate investigations. There's more of like a collaboration in order to assist Mexico with their eventual like extradition and trial of Dejanay and others. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? I personally think that it could go either way. But to me, for the U.S. to hold on for this long, I actually do believe that they are probably trying to see if they can try this in the United States. We will see. So let me go ahead and read your comments. Oh, I didn't mean to pin that. So anyways, I'm sure my mods already blocked that person. Like, why come on my channel and put that? Like, stop. Yeah, that definitely was a troll. And I'm sure my mods already blocked them. Yeah, something. Yes. It says your mods are fast as lightning. They definitely are. They definitely are. Yes, be respectful in the chat. Hi, Della. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my chat. Thank you for the compliment. That female who should remain nameless. Yes, Hunter, yes. I won't say the name, but well, for now I won't. Oh, follow me from Rabbit. Yes, I love Rabbit. Thank you for follow me from Rabbit. Yeah, if you are not subscribed, make sure you follow Down the Rabbit Hole News. Yes, the pictures are real. For that Shanquella picture is real. So they did address her altering evidence. Yeah, so yeah, that brings up a good point. So yeah, I'm sure they did address her. So that means probably that when Nazir arrived, they had already put clothes on her. Yeah, he's definitely trying to set the record straight and fix his credibility, because some things were wrong, but you know, he's trying to let everyone know that that picture is real, and some other things he said turn out to be accurate, right? So right now, I said before, he increased his score to meet 80% right now. No one is 100%, but yeah, so 80%. Yeah, something. Yes, thanks for the likes. Keep on. Make sure you hit the like button. Okay, I'm scrolling through. Hey, Michelle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm sure that more will follow as well. More people will follow, and other people will be arrested as well, or charged with something, because there's accessory after the fact, and also, yeah, covering up things. She's going to be singing like a bird. Exactly. And you actually think that Dejanay will actually protect all those people? A lot of times people don't realize this, is that when people are the same person you spend your time trying to protect, and you'll break your neck for that person, and you'll go to jail for that person, and ride or die for that person will swill on you in 1 second. You think that her ass is she'll be the one that actually try to turn on them if she thinks it'll lower her time or lessen her time. Child. Yes, I love to see it. I love to see it. We have 35,364 signatures. Keep signing and sharing the petition. Great work. So which one do y'all want to do first? We have the Winter Donovan trying to figure out how we can make sure that she's no longer working with her mother. Or do you want to do the concierge video, because some of you had additional questions underneath the video? Y'all had other questions y'all wanted to ask the concierge. So which do y'all want me to do first? The Winter Donovan job, continue on with her job, or trying to find out how we can get her to start working there, or the concierge questions, call the concierge back again and get questions answered. There's one more other thing too, but I can't remember right now. Okay, yes, definitely extraterritorial jurisdiction. AG said all involved are at the moment being fully investigated, but hardly any mention are on progress their side in Kabul. Everyone there are involved prior, during, after the fact. God rest her soul. Yeah. He really, to me, it's kind of like when someone is giving an interview, but they're not really answering that many questions during the interview, right? It's mainly the same things that were already addressed in the other interview the other day with that other reporter at that conference, security conference, right? There are some additional things. I have to actually go over it to see if there's anything actually fresh or new. They need to do time in Mexico, then time here. So you're saying a mixture of both. So to me, it can go either way. Either way, to me, I don't really care how it goes, but I do love that they are collaborating and trying to build a stronger case, right? A more thorough, objective evidence, a stronger case against Dejanay and everyone involved, right? So if the U.S. is actually trying to help build a stronger case, whether it's to extradite them or to try them themselves in the United States, as long as it's a strong case, that's all I really care about. If the FBI is doing its own separate investigation, it's because Mexico screwed up. They likely won't want them messing up the prosecution, and America can only be tried once. Yeah, so that's a good point, that If the U.S., why would the U.S. help build a strong case and then extradite? If they can build a strong case and then invoke this extraterritorial jurisdiction, why not just try them in the United States? Why extradite if you already helped with the case? Oh yeah, there was another one I was planning on doing, was a live about the previous cases that set precedent probably for this case of other Americans committing crimes in Mexico and then coming back to the United States. In one case, the person was actually extradited, right? And then in another case, that person was tried in the United States, but they said that was because the children were kidnapped in America and then he went to Mexico, right? So then that one. And then there was another one with the guy, the producer from Pimp My Ride. And I think that he only served 7.5 years of a 12-year sentence in Mexico. So I actually was going to do a live on those two cases, right? What is that? Okay, hard to say because we gave he's very credible. Are you meaning like Gerardo? Well, to me, people lost trust in him when he said that Desjardins was in jail and she was not in jail. And then the second one was that he said it was a video of Winter and, or at least a female coming from a back room or somewhere and intervening. Let me tell you, the worst thing he said was that Desjardins was arrested and she wasn't. And let me tell you, the reason I say it's the worst is because everybody is waiting for her to get arrested. Our emotions are tied into it. People are very passionate about this case, and hearing that she got arrested really made a lot of people happy, excited, including me, right? And then the turnout is not true. It's like a big, it's like it really takes like a toll on your emotions to see that she wasn't, right? So trust me, it's hard to come back from that. But what I can say is that he has increased some of his credibility since that time period. However, I cannot just say that he's like 100% like recovered from that, because it takes a lot to recover from giving that type of news and update and then it not to be true, because everyone wants her to be arrested, and then for it not to be true, that's not good. But that picture that he posted of Shanquella on the floor, yes, I did verify that. That is a real picture. It is true that the FBI and everyone was investigating the Cabo 6, but actually at that Joe Bruno, when he saw that card on the Desjardins' door from the Forsyth County private investigator, criminal investigator Fry from Forsyth County, North Carolina, that was already proof that the FBI was kind of involved, because what happens is the FBI actually works with local police departments sometimes, like in the sort of like collaboration with the local police to do questioning and things like that too. And that actually, a lot of people think that a lot of times like the FBI takes over local police. A lot of times they actually work together with them on cases sometimes, right? So let's see, Mexico could put the Cabo 6 on trial, and then the U.S. could put them on trial. That way, after they serve time in Mexico, then they will serve time in the United States. I actually have to look into that, because I've heard someone else mention something similar. So I need to actually look and see like a precedented case about that, right? Or a similar case to where that actually happened. I'm so happy how everyone is keeping Shanquella's case alive as well. Shout out to all of the channel holders. You are heroes. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm happy that it's keeping her name alive as well. The longer, to be honest, the longer it goes on investigation, it will be harder to do so, because there won't really be anything to discuss to actually keep it alive. And that's where events come in. When people do prayer vigils, marches, and other events, then that helps it. Okay. Yes, that's how you can support the family. Yes, welcome. Make sure you hit the like button. Dani, now you know Mexico has been incompetent on this case. Yeah, I've been saying that already. I'm not taking that back. If I offend someone, then too bad. They have been. So I agree. And that's why I said I hope that it was one live I was talking, and I actually said, oh my gosh, I have a bad feeling. I was getting like literally like, to be honest, sick. I was like, her justice starts from the moment someone is killed, because at that moment, whoever arrives on scene has to properly collect evidence. They have to properly examine and dust down the crime scene, examine the whole crime scene. They have to take statements from everybody. They have to actually look at the victim and look at everything. Look at all the signs. If someone says alcohol poisoning, someone has a busted lip, a busted eye, a knot on their forehead, they're showing more other signs of it being more than alcohol poisoning, right? Alcohol poisoning, and then the doctor said that she wasn't responsive and she had these signs, and she asked the fake friends, like, why does she have this knot on her forehead? I don't know what they told her for that excuse, right? So for them to let the friends leave Mexico, and for them to not question why, like, just let them leave Mexico knowing all these extra factors, whatever, it doesn't make sense. So they dropped the ball from day one when it actually happened. And then remember, her father actually had to call around to find out where she was. Someone from Mexico didn't call the family and said, this is where she was. They had all the fake friends' numbers. They could have easily said, we need to get in contact with the parents, and then so we can get her back to the United States. But none of that happened. The father had to actually find her, right? And he was right that, like, one of the first funeral homes that pop up for Mexico is actually a state. Well, if United States citizens dies in the United States, in Mexico, they actually have a list of funeral homes that is really good for Americans, because those people speak English at their funeral homes, and they know all the procedures and protocols for what to do when American dies in overseas in Mexico. So that first funeral home, when you search for Mexico, actually is the one that she was sent to, and there is a person that works there named Elizabeth. She goes by Elizabeth, right? And I did talk to her, like, on text, and then she sent me some voice notes, but it's in Spanish. I already talked about that. So for the fact that her father had to actually call around to find her body, that was actually another thing they dropped the ball on. And I was like, what would have happened if her father did not find her? Would they have buried her over in Mexico without contacting the family? Like, what would have happened, right? So yeah, I do think they dropped the ball, and I'm not going back on that. But that's why I said I'm happy that the United States is helping and collaborating with them to actually build a stronger case. Hi, Janice. Welcome. I don't really get in all to the cartel and everything else, but a lot of people are interested in that. I think they are saying they planned it all out here in America soil, and that's a crime. I also heard they were checking their clouds and everything, erased out their phones. Yeah, Chris Swecker, if you actually listen to the video I just played, he actually stated that the U.S. would definitely be looking at the electronic records and everything that was like text or sent via email or whatever else. And sometimes in some cases that people actually were Googling certain things, like Googling things, and their Google searches will actually be used against them. So they definitely will be looking at electronic records for sure. And there are some people that think that while they were in the US, that it was premeditated, that they would go to Mexico and they would beat her down and murder her. And then there are some people that think that everything was okay until something happened in Cabo. Something got heated, or argument started, or something happened to where she was upset with Shanquella for something, and then she wanted to maybe have built up over time throughout their acquaintanceship or whatever. And then that something happened maybe during the card game they were playing, and then things got heated, and then Dejanay wanted to fight her. And you already know, like, when someone wants to fight you, and then they really want to fight you, and maybe you don't want to fight them, right? But then they want to fight you, and then that's where it comes in, where Dejanay is like brutally attacking her, and she wants to fight, but Shanquella says she doesn't want to fight. So then there's two different sides. So people believe what they want to believe. My opinion is that I think that there was someone posted before that they've known each other for a little minute, so it wasn't like they were just met. I do think that over the course of time they've known each other. It was not like a close friendship, but maybe through social media kind of thing. And that something happened there on the trip that actually really like I think Dejanay previously already had anger towards her and jealousy and other things like that, like jealousy or something else towards her. And then I think that during the trip, like during the card game, if you ever played card games, especially with crazy questions and you're drinking and everything else, that can lead to arguments, and also other things can lead to arguments. So I think that something happened to where Dejanay wanted to fight Shanquella on the trip, and I think it started off that she wanted to just fight her, but then she went like into like a full rage and just brutally beat her down, right? And then Shanquella didn't want to fight, but obviously Dejanay did. And the way she was attacking her, that's why I said it's a brutal attack. It's not a fight. So people need to stop using the word fight. She brutally attacked her and killed her. She didn't care. Like she kicked her in the face. She threw her by her neck. She kept on like beating on her really hard. And it was just a lot. So that's how I know that it was a lot of rage and it had built up over time. But I don't think it was premeditated to where they were planning on going on a trip and then they were planning to kill her while she was over there. I don't think that happened. But I do think that existing anger and existing rage and existing jealousy existed before the trip. But I don't think the whole killing her was premeditated. Every day I send emails, tweets, etc. to Ken Salazar, Daniel De La Rosa, Charlotte FBI, Charlotte Mayor. Yeah. So someone asked before, how can they help? And that's how you can help, because everyone needs to send this information. Everyone needs to be emailing these same people. And I have a lot of this information on the petition or in the updates. But a lot of times it doesn't even have to be premeditated. Based on what Chris Swecker said, they can just automatically do extraterritorial jurisdiction, no matter if it was premeditated or not on U.S. soil or not. I thought of on U.S. soil. They can just invoke this right here with approval from the DOJ, right? Yeah. This is why we have U.S. embassies everywhere. Yeah, so I really do think that I don't think it was premeditated that they planned on. I think they all were planning on going on a trip and actually having fun on the trip. But then it was already some kind of existing animosity between those two, and then it got worse on a trip with that game and other things, interactions. But that's not an excuse. None of that is an excuse to brutally attack somebody and kill somebody and throw them by their neck and beat them down like that. That's not an excuse. I think they are trying to make sure the case is airtight. I do too. I heard there is a precedent for extraterritorial jurisdiction. There's a case, Pimp My Ride case. I'm not going to go over it in this video, but there is a Pimp My Ride case that is kind of similar, not similar, but where you can make a good comparison. Can the letters be sent digital to the concierge? That's what we have. The concierge, the letters are not being sent to the concierge. Okay. I think you have it confused. The letters are, I don't know what they're sending the letters to for the Shanquella March. He has not given me the address or anyone the address yet. He won't be posting that soon. When I said the concierge, that's me calling the concierge, a concierge that works for Cabo Villas. And people have general questions about how Cabo Villas runs their company, or what the concierge does and how the villas work and everything else that the concierge can answer. The judge signed the PBA, so to speak, enough for arrest, the attacker at least, then that arrest follow. It could be up to the feds, Interpol, as to whether they tried a crime in U.S. instead of Mexico. Yeah, so in Mexico, they did issue an arrest warrant. So the judge over there did approve for the arrest warrant, right? But we don't know all the evidence and everything that was submitted to that judge for the arrest warrant. I do know this. If Mexico had a strong case, if they had a strong case of solid evidence and 100% that it will be no loopholes for Dejanay's defense team to get her off, I'm sure the U.S. would have extradited her already. However, I think that once the U.S. saw the evidence that was collected and everything, how everything was done and ran, and the they autopsy and everything they saw, I think that they didn't think it was a strong enough case. So that's why they started collaborating. And that's why I said we can look at other cases to actually see what the U.S. has done before and how much evidence was submitted. Because in one case, they did extradite the person, but maybe that case they had strong evidence. We don't know. And then the one that they did not extradite, maybe that was weaker evidence. We don't know. So that's why I said we can look at old cases to try to see what happened. But in my opinion, if Mexico had a strong case, the U.S. would have extradited already, because they would say, well, Mexico doesn't need our help, so we can just extradite her. They have everything, and they have everything. But as you can see, Daniel De La Rosa Naya, he just said that the U.S. is helping them to build a stronger case. So if he actually said that, that actually shows that the U.S. is helping them to build a strong case. They don't have a strong case already. The U.S. is helping them to build one. So they are collaborating. So he is saying that the U.S. is helping. They are also watching Mexico due to the fact that they have not arrested anyone of those in Mexico. My question will be this. The FBI is not asking questions. Is the FBI questioning the maid and everyone else? Or is the FBI sending over what they need, like questions they need asked, and then the Mexico is sending those responses back? Because that's what it looks like to me. The collaboration is that Mexico sends formal paperwork over to the United States of what needs to be done or what they want or questions asked or whatever. And then the United States does the same thing. Well, that's based on what Chris Swecker said, right? I would actually think that an FBI agent would go to Mexico and do questioning, right? Or is it that Mexico is doing the questioning of the Mexican citizens and then the United States is doing the questioning of the United States citizens? That's something I would want to ask Chris Swecker or somebody that knows, right? But it looks like to me that that's what's happening. Like Mexico is doing their own investigation and questioning Mexican citizens, and then the United States is questioning their citizens. I would think that an agent from each would go to the other country and do it, but I guess that's not how it works. Okay, hey Petty. So if anyone knows that answer, then let me know. Hey Petty. What about those involved in Mexico? Yeah, good question. Like if the United States does have their own trial over here, then how would they charge the people in Mexico, right? Well, what about this? Could the United States try like the Cabo 6 and then separately Mexico can try their own citizens? Because look at this. Mexico doesn't need extradition paperwork to charge the doctor and the maid and whoever else if they are going to do so, right? So they don't need the United States for that. So they are saying they're waiting for extradition of Dejanay, but what about the doctor and other people? They don't need extradition for that. So why not? Why haven't the doctor been charged, right? So that's a question I have. Okay, good evening, Dani, Maz in chat. I'm going to rewind now for replay. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Conspiracy. Okay, so let me go ahead and read a few more comments, and I'm going to go ahead and get into the second part. Child. I think Winter's mom would just start paying her under the table. But would she actually risk her business to do that? Because there will be other witnesses to attest to that, to attest to Winter still being there and working there. Winter is too protected due to mama. If the Cabo 6 planned the attack on Shanquella in the U.S., I believe the Cabo 6 can be prosecuted in the U.S. for conspiracy to cause bodily harm and for obstruction of justice for lying about cause of death. Yeah, accessory after the fact or before the fact, depending on how it goes. But what Chris Swecker is saying is that they actually don't need to prove that anything happened in the United States. They can just simply invoke this extraterritorial jurisdiction and take over the case without actually having an excuse to do so, as long as it's approved by the Department of Justice. So they really, a lot of people said, well, they can actually prove that it's premeditated or done somewhere in the United States, but the way some experts put it, that they actually don't have to prove that it had anything to do, any part of it happened in the United States. They can just take over with approval from the DOJ. Okay. Yeah, that's my playlist. I actually have to update that playlist. I would have never known that you can do that in Mexico and get away. How do people know this? But other bloggers were reporting it. Also, he got all the flack about it. He actually was the one that actually made a news article about it. He made a news article, and then other people took his news article and reported on her being arrested, because he was saying that he had an inside source and connections, and a lot of people were trusting him at the time. And he made a news article on Metropolitan Mix, and then he said that Desjardins was arrested. And then that's what YouTubers do. They take news articles and they do commentary on it. So they trusted him as a trusted news source of article or information. Then they made commentary videos on it. So that's why he got the blame. I agree, Dani. All immaterial with hardly any substance. Gerardo got the interview with the main dog, the attorney general. Good enough for me at the moment. When it goes lame, we know where to go. Yeah, so he basically, the attorney, Daniel De La Rosa, actually is the one that issued the arrest warrant that everyone keeps talking about. He is a credible person that has inside information and inside knowledge. And actually, when he was speaking to Gerardo, he actually didn't really give him a lot of details about because it's an open investigation, an ongoing investigation. He gave some information, but not enough. If you actually listen to the way he's answering the questions, he's actually going roundabout, like circular. He's not really answering the questions. Like with the example with the pictures, he never really verified yes or no if the pictures were real or not real that Gerardo gave him, right? Because Gerardo showed a picture of him at the state attorney's office, State Department, giving those pictures. So he never actually said yes or no to those pictures being real or not. He actually just went a roundabout way and then came back and said, and still the pictures have to be verified by an expert, and then later on that is probably something we would submit to a judge. But he never said yes or no to whether it was authentic, right? And then some other questions too, he never really answered the questions. Sometimes you have to pay attention to people because they will say a lot, but at the end of everything they say, your question will remain unanswered. And to you, it might have been answered, but technically not really. So that's why sometimes you have to kind of like rephrase or try to go back and try to see if you get more information. This is a roller coaster of emotions. Yes. Yes, go ahead and sign a petition. Change.org for Shanquella. Okay, how many more? I'm probably a few more comments. And then I need to get to the second half. The Cabo says can't sleep at night. I think some can probably sleep just fine because some seem cold-hearted. And if you actually listen to me talking to Winter's mom, they are still pushing that they are innocent. So I think they are sleeping just fine, besides dealing with everyone writing and talking about them all day and night on social media. Obviously, that's getting to them, and including close family members are being talked about on social media. I signed a petition and my husband will too. Thank you so much. Yes, change.org /Shanquella. Thank you for signing. Thank you for signing. So let me actually put that back up, and let me go ahead and close out the first part of this live, which will be, that's for Shanquella. And then I'm going to move on to the second part. Nothing goes all the way in cyberspace. I agree. And I still believe, not everyone has their own beliefs. I still believe that when Malik finished recording, he stopped recording. We saw him stop recording, right? I still believe that whoever was next to him, which I believe was Winter, was still on her device recording. Still live on her device. So no telling what else is out there. Obviously, they had a problem with her of some sort. Yeah. Good evening, listening from work. It seems obvious that they all hate Shanquella. The mystery is why. To me, I can like watching the video of her interacting with them when she walked into the room, and then Dejanay was acting funny, not really wanting to go swimming. And then just how everything was, like when she walked in, it was kind of like awkward silence. She was in a pool by herself and different things like that. So there was already some kind of animosity or angst going on, or tension built up already. And I think in the video I heard Dejanay say, I'm sick of this, or I'm sick of something. So it was something ongoing or something that happened. But that's still not an excuse. You can be, someone could say something or do something you don't like, but that's not an excuse to kill them, right? Yeah, they all had issues with her. That's why no one stepped in. And yeah, some people could say it's stepped in and also covered up, right? Went to sign petition. What is the $11 for? I am internet illiterate and rarely engage on here, but I'm loving this channel. $11. The petition is free to sign. If they ask for any donations, you can decline. And if anyone donates to the petition, as I have stated numerous times, if you donate to the petition, it does not go to me. It does not go to the family. It goes to change.org, and they use it to promote the petition and spread it out. So you do not have to pay money for the petition. So I don't know where that's coming from. Those people wanted her to die because people always step in when any attack started becoming brutal. Why did no one stop the attack? Because they wanted to do this. Why did Malik stop recording when he stopped recording? Right? That's the video that was leaked later on, was the one Malik had recording. I think that he actually stopped it because he realized that it was going to a certain point and he stopped recording. Like some people probably would record a fight or record something, but when it comes to how violent it got, I think that some people would stop recording. So I think he actually stopped recording when he realized that it was going in a different direction. I think they just wanted to make an example out of Shanquella video and released it. If that monster, I think, wanted to put Shanquella in a state of crippling, and that way she couldn't tell what happened. That's why I really didn't think they wanted her to get help, is because they probably wanted her, to be honest, to just die, so that way that she wouldn't be able to ever, not really, to be able to say what happened to her. Okay, that's why I think they didn't really want to get her help. Someone sent me a photo. What? If Dejanay was interviewed, shouldn't she be detained for the fact she was on video assaulting Shanquella? See, that's the thing that gets me, is that even if you cannot prove that she murdered her, you can still prove that she assaulted her, brutally assault and battery. So you can still be charged for assault and battery, right? But would the United States actually arrest her now and just charge her with assault and battery for committing a foreign crime, right? So what types of foreign crimes can they charge her with? Can they charge her with any type of foreign crime, or does it have to be something like on the Interpol website where it has to be something like murder or something more heinous, right? But we don't know. Because that's what I was saying too. Why not just arrest her for that for now, and then later on, when you're finished the investigation, add on another charge? But I think that once it's overseas, they can't really try certain crimes. It has to be certain crimes they have to try. After signing the petition, after signing a petition, it asks if you would like to donate. I don't mind donating for a good cause, just not sure what it's for. No, don't donate. What you can do is just spread the word yourself. I always advocate or push word of mouth. Everyone just tell someone else to sign a petition. That's free. Word of mouth is free. That's how a lot of things get around anyways, when someone tells someone about something. Now, for those who will donate, I do appreciate donations as well, because Change.org does allegedly, I don't know if they say that they will show the petition to more people and put it on other platforms and promote it on their main page and different things for promotion. But yet and still, I prefer to keep money out of it and just say spread it through your word of mouth. So instead of donating, just share it to your Facebook, your contacts, and everybody else. And that's one thing I don't like about Change.org is the fact that they ask people for donations, because that gets me in a bind, because people start coming to me like, I donated to you. I'm like, wait. That you donated to Change.org, hunty. That money ain't coming to me. It ain't coming to the family. It ain't coming to me. So, yes, it is. Shanquella was just a baby. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into Jalen Lewis. And let me tell y'all, this Jalen Lewis case, even hood dudes don't really attack each other like that. If any fight or attack started to become brutal, someone always steps in, which let me know this was premeditated. Yeah, I would expect that once something becomes that brutal that people will step in. But I also would not say that I have not seen videos on World Star and other places where something gets really crazy and people just don't step in or intervene. They just watch. But you would expect her fake friend Khalil to step in. He was right there. He didn't step in. At least he should have stepped in, right? Other people should have stepped in as well. And then also, we also don't know what happened after Malik stopped recording, right? We don't know what happened after he stopped recording. My guess, to me, to be honest, I think that before he started recording, Dejanay was already attacking Shanquella. She was already had been beating on her before the recording started, and that he only started recording at a certain point. And I also think that once he stopped videotaping or recording, that Dejanay was still attacking her because she was still in attack mode. She was still rageful when the video ended. So I still think she was attacking Shanquella after that video stopped. Dani, does anyone know concretely what time Lucy got to the villa? I feel like the timing is all speculations based on what she usually does. A do not disturb could easily do that. Based on what the concierge said, is that once they get to the villa and check in, everyone signs the guest register, that you can tell that concierge what time you want the maid to come. So I don't know what time they wanted the maid to come. Even if her usual time is in the afternoon, they could have requested a different time. But my guess is that, just my opinion, is that when the concierge asked and they said, well, the maid comes around this time and is that okay? And then they probably said yes or no. And to be honest, most time if a maid comes at noon, most people wouldn't have a problem with that. If someone said the maid comes at 8 in the morning, some people would be like, wait, we're going to be drinking tonight. We're going to be having tacos. We're going to be having fun tonight. So we don't want a maid coming at 8 o'clock in the freaking morning. But if someone told me that a maid was going to come out in the afternoon, I would be okay with that. But on a trip, I don't want no maid coming at 8 o'clock in the morning. Child, please. Right? Exactly. The Attorney General skirted around many questions, not answering directly. And what a lot of people have to pay attention to is that a lot of times, a lot of people in these positions have went to law school, and that including from Mexico. And even like on the new case I'm working on, a lot of these people are lawyers. These people, like, they know what people are trying to get at. They know how to answer certain questions and how to skirt around. They really do. So a lot of these people have like a law background. So you have to be careful when you're talking to those type of people, because they really know how to play those word games and how to skirt around and give you and talk to you without actually giving you any information. You'll have like a full conversation, and at the end you'll be like, wait, we had a full long conversation, but none of my questions were actually answered. You might have some answer, but trust me, the ones that really want to keep a secret really won't get an answer unless you're really good yourself. You have to be really good and tricky. Hey, Michelle. Okay, I'm dividing this live up into two parts. There's two petitions, but I have only discussed Shanquella. In a minute, I'm actually going to switch over to a different case because I'm not going to be on tomorrow to discuss the second case. What would make that many people record her naked and being beat? That's what's strange about it. Like, I know a lot of times people record people being attacked, or even like in a fight or something, right? But I never really heard people doing it while someone is naked. That's weird. That's where it's like, what? At the same time, I'm happy that Malik recorded, because if he did not record, this could have easily been hidden and swept under the rug and lied about and covered up. So sometimes I hate when people say, "Oh, we'll record," but at the same time, if someone doesn't record, then where can we go from there? They could have easily just kept this covered up. So I'm actually happy he recorded, because that's how we have the video. Now, I prefer people to call for help first and then record in that order. But in this case, in some cases, I'm happy that somebody recorded. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't think somebody liked what I said in this video. But tell them what I said, right? They deleted. I didn't even get to see the message. It's deleted before I could see it. Oop. Saucy, yes, otherwise, okay. Yes, go ahead and hit the like button. Yes, I know who owns Cabo Villas. That's Nocturne, some kind of Nocturne. I forgot to be action. It's Nocturne or something. Anyways, that company, I have a whole video on that. But the company that owns Cabo Villas is American Corporation, right? And they're based in California. However, they don't own the villa Linda 32. Cabo Villas is like a full service travel company. It's like an Airbnb. It's like an Airbnb. So basically, you just go to Cabo Villas. You can book a villa like you would on Airbnb. You would go to Airbnb and book somewhere to stay. But when you book, Airbnb doesn't own the place you'll be living at, right? There's an owner of that home or wherever you're staying. In this case, Cabo Villas manages the villas. They have a bunch of villas, like over 160 villas they manage, and that corporation is owned by someone in the United States. However, the villas are actually owned by somebody else. So I do know who owns CaboVillas.com, the managing company that's similar to an Airbnb, but I do not know who owns Villa Linda 32, and I have not looked into who owns Villa Linda 32. If I was in Mexico and I had what's called a Mexican CURP number, and it's called CURP, it's called CURP. It's like an ID. If you have an ID card for being like a citizen of Mexico, or even like in the United States where you have some kind of, I don't have a way to get a CURP because I'm not a citizen of Mexico. If I had a CURP, so if someone here is from Mexico or is in Mexico and they have a CURP, CURP, then message me on IG, Instagram. So message me on IG, Instagram if you have a CURP, and then I can tell you how you can easily get this information within like a minute. As for me, I have to go another way to get the information because I don't have a Mexican CURP number. Okay. So if someone is in Mexico, or I know someone in Mexico that can get this information and message me on IG, Dani Robertson YT, and then I can get that information of who owns Villa Linda 32. They have a database in Mexico, but you have to have a CURP ID to access it. Yeah, I hope it's murder charge too. And sometimes it can be manslaughter. If they can't prove murder, like intent, then they can try to do like second-degree murder, or they can do like manslaughter charge. I heard cartel. I don't really get into whether, I don't think the cartel is involved. And I doubt they would be that messy. But some people keep on saying like the owner of the Villa Linda 32 is in a cartel or some kind of mafia or some kind of other things going on. but no evidence has been posted, and I don't really go by that unless there's evidence. Now, if someone has a Mexican CURP or CURP ID, and they can actually find out who owns the villa by going to the website I give them, the database, and they actually search that database, and they find the owner, and then they say, oh my gosh, he has cartel affiliations, then I'll believe it. But until then, I really don't go into all that. And there's a receipt, Hunter receipt. Okay, well, no one knows who owns Villa Linda 32. If someone knows who owns Villa Linda 32, they will actually post the name of the owner. They don't have the owner's name or picture. That's just guesses. What people have is maybe who owns Cabo Villas. I already know who owns Cabo Villas. And that's a United States corporation. I too believe they drag it because they don't want to charge their own just speculation. Now, the family could sue Cabo Villas if there's a way they can try to find a way to find out why they will be responsible for something. And Cabo Villas in the United States, so it's easy to sue a corporation that's in the United States, right? But the actual owner of the villa has not been named. I think Gerardo mentioned something about the owner of the villa, right? But he hasn't posted the name or the information yet. It would have been manslaughter if they didn't start a cover-up. She could still get a manslaughter charge even with a cover-up. A lot of times people, if it's something like a fight or something that wasn't really intended to where the person will be killed, but the person still died, you can still get a manslaughter charge. Notice you don't hear anything from a maid. They keeping her on a gag order, just speculating. That it's hard to get a hold of the maid because she's contracted. Like there are some people that's like the concierge that works directly with Cabo Villas, and you can actually go to their website and find them. Well, scratch. You used to be able to go to their website and see the concierge, but right now, if you go to their website, they took that down. They took down all the people that worked there because they didn't want people to have their names and phone numbers. However, I screen recorded that page, so I still have that. They're all their names and phone numbers. However, on that website, they only had the concierge, the vice president, and everybody else. The lowest people on the totem pole for the organization or company, corporation, are the concierge in Mexico, right? Concierges, but they don't have the maids on there. And then once I spoke to one maid, Yvonne, she said that basically she works for somebody named Charles E. Bine or something similar. And she works for him, and then he has a contract with Cabo Villas. So she's not directly working with Cabo Villas. She's working for Charles E. Bine, who has a contract with Cabo Villas. So most likely, if someone finds Charles E. Bine, he might actually have a cleaning service in Mexico, and then places like Cabo Villas like contract him to clean their villas. So then he sends out maids from his contracted business to clean their villas, right? So I haven't looked into that angle yet. And that's why I said before, like, even when you talk to different people, they can give you another lead. Because some people say, well, Yvonne didn't really help. What questions did she answer? Well, she obviously just told me that she works for Charles Yvonne and he's contracted to Cabo Villa. So most likely I could that's the lead. Leads are how I can actually keep going from one person to the next, because this person leads me to the next person. So basically, if I find Charles Yvonne and I find out what company he owns, like a maid cleaning service, and maybe I call him, and then maybe I can get a hold of Lucy. I don't know. But I do know is that everybody I have talked to so far, nobody wants to give me the name, give me Lucy. They don't want to give me her phone number. They don't want to do anything. And a lot of them already know me. I'll be honest, they do. They already know, like, well, somebody has been already calling, trying to get a hold of Lucy, so they already know, right? They already know what I'm trying to do. But I don't know if they actually reached Charles, if Charles knows. So maybe I need to find Charles. I don't know. But I have what I call priorities, and some things I have to work on first before others. I would rather try to get Winter, like something happening with her license or whatever she has to affect her employment. I would rather do that first and worry about getting hold of the maid, Lucy. So I have to actually prioritize and decide what I'm going to work on next, because I actually have a lot of things I could work on. But each one takes time and research and reaching out and calling and everything else. They all could have been loaded on something. But definitely that's on a to-do list to see who is this Charles E. Bine person she mentioned that's contracted to Cabo Villas. And remember, these people are in Mexico. For me to try to get a hold of these people in Mexico is more work than y'all think. Yes, Dani, I feel the same way about it. Like, think about it. Like, for me being in America and me talking to a lot of people in Mexico, that actually takes work. I think Winter jumped in. We don't know. And he actually already came out before and said there's no second video that he knows of. Well, to me, no one knows if there's a second video or not. What I do know is that when Malik spanned his phone over and the phone panned over to the right and Winter was there, her device was still on. We don't know when her device stopped. So who's to say, do you think that they really both stopped recording at the same time? How do we know that she didn't keep recording or stay live or whatever she was doing? I don't know. No one knows unless they have all the evidence. So do we know if there's another video or not? We don't know unless you're the FBI or somebody that able to get a hold of Winter's phone and see what she was doing on it. Oh, gosh. I've already addressed this comment. It says she wasn't naked. She had on a skin tone bodysuit. If you go back and watch the video, there's a tag on her shirt. Also, you don't see any of her back tattoos. I've already addressed this in a previous video, and I already stated that she was naked in that video, and that was not a tag on her shirt. If you actually zoom in and look closer, you'll actually see that's something from her hair. She had something tied, her hair tied with, and it actually was hanging down. And if you actually look at that close up, you'll actually see it's actually on the side of her head as well. It's like a white script. She had something tied for her hair at night. Dejanay went to sleep in a bonnet, and then she went to sleep in some kind of, her hair tied up. And if you know, she got her, I showed the hairstylist, she got her hair done right before the trip, right? Like a couple of days before the trip or the night before the trip, before she left, she got her hair done. So obviously, if you get your hair done, you want to actually tie it up to keep your edges laid or your hair tied up or whatever at night. So actually go watch my video on that. I already debunked that she actually was naked. You can actually see her full breast. You can actually see the depth of her behind. I'm not gonna say that on my live. Her behind, you can actually see like in depth. You can actually see in the front where her groin area is. You can see like where the pubic region will be the groin area. You can actually see that in full detail. It's actually a different color from that. If you actually are wearing a skin tone suit that matches your body, everything will always be the same. Your breasts will not be hanging and swinging in different directions. You will not be able to see the crack of your butt in full detail and actually like a darker print to where it would be for your image, like the shadowing. And also in the groin area where the pubic area is, you would actually not be able to see like a discoloration in that area because the body skin tone suit will be all over skin tone. Second, the video is blurry, so you actually won't be able to see full detail. But what I can say is that's not a tag. That's actually something she tied her hair with. And once I zoomed in, more people saw it. Just like that person that said there was another person recording by the other side of the bed, low on the ground by the curtain. That's not a person either. That's something. That's items. I have debunked all of that. That's not true. So if you haven't watched my previous videos, you need to watch my previous videos. I already discussed that. It's not true. Yeah, that's all right. That's untrue. And the key thing is this: when you're on the phone, you can easily be fooled by certain videos because you're on the phone and you can't really see. If you get on the computer or on the TV, bingo, you'll be able to see that it's not what it seems. Not to mention this started before the recording because Dejanay said don't let me come in and drag you out of the bed. Okay, where do you see that at? I didn't see no video of her saying that. I'm so happy in an unfortunate way. It was videotaped. God rest her soul. Yeah, I'm actually going to probably, if I get off this live, I'm going to work on my playlist and get I'm actually going to post my playlist. People need to actually catch up on some things because some things are untrue and it have been debunked. Subcontractor, and so on, services and many more branches. Yes, it's a lot. Nocturne, the person who is a member assigned to CA state registration involved in private equity. Yeah, that's all in the United States. Now, who owns Villa Linda 32? I don't know. Okay, somebody sent me a message. I have to translate it because I'm not. Let me translate it because it's in Spanish. Wait. Get my translator out. Dang, I hate when people delete something. I hate when people delete something and I don't get to see it before they delete it. By the time I got to the message, delete it. Dang. I hate when that happens. Dang, I ducked too slow. But they duck too fast. I mean, beauty, no words. You'll see it, or it will be discussed again. Child, I am not going to discuss. It's too much stuff. Not to be whatever, but to be honest, it's too much stuff to rehash. Like if I, in every video I go over the same thing, then I'll be on live all day long talking about the same stuff. That's why I have a playlist with all the videos. That way people can catch up. Because child, I can't. Some people will want me to catch up and try to go over everything, but the people that have been here all the time, like since day one, they will be annoyed because they were like, I already know this. I already know this information. This is old. This is old. I truly believe they shared the video before they knew she was on a live, and he started recording when they knew something was wrong. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that I think he shared. I think that, to be honest, I think that when he was recording, he was already posting to something. I think he was already posting to something when he was recording. Well, no, because it didn't say live on it. Never mind. But yeah, he probably already shared the video before. I don't know. Some people would really hope that it was some kind of guilty conscience, but I doubt it. I think that it was already shared already. But yeah, I do think that he stopped recording when it got to be too much. Because some people would want to watch a fight or watch people like fight or something, but they don't want to watch it when it becomes like more of an attack. But you saw that post he made right after Shanquella was on a live. He made a post saying that like BFFs with Dejanay, so like shoot, like best friends for life or something. So he was still like Team Dejanay. I signed and shared a petition for Shanquella. Thank you. I actually discussed that in the video, Cabo 6 video. This actually has a lot of moving parts, Hey, Valerie. I thought I heard there was a longer video, not a second video. There has been different things discussed. There has been saying a longer video, and there has also been saying a second video. And there was said the second video, someone intervening. It was like specific. The video is longer than what we saw. I think no second video, just a full video. Well, we don't know what Winter was recording or what she was doing next to him, right? And we also don't know. Yeah, he also could have. To me, he also could have been recording before and after. We don't know. We don't know what's all available. Child. But to see, that's why people call out misinformation, because when someone posts misinformation and fake stuff, and then other people will believe it, and then they'll go to other channels and they'll have the same information, and that person will really believe it. Some people strongly really believe it, and then they'll go and then they'll start getting an attitude with me because I don't believe it. I need to sign the other petition. That's why I always say everyone can believe what they want to believe. I'm not going to try to convince people. Well, I might debunk certain videos, but I'm not going to go like all day and night trying to debunk people. Let's say they have a longer video. Can it be traced to tell Dani, thank you for all you're doing, justice for Shanquella Robinson? Can it be traced? Yeah, they can't really. If they try to delete the video and everything else, it can still be retrieved. I know one case before where a guy took pictures of he killed his wife, and then he took pictures of her body and he deleted the pictures. He thought it was gone, but they actually were able to retrieve it. Ooh. There was also another person that deleted their Google search history. They was actually Googling like how long it takes for a body to like decomposition and everything else, and how they can make a body like go through the process of decomposition faster. And they actually found that too. And you think that they probably were not Googling certain things, right? That can all be traced. That video is blurry. You can't really see everything. And what's crazy is some people say, I can see this and I can see that in the video, but then the next breath, they'll be like, oh, well, the video is blurry, so I can't really see. Exactly, the video is blurry. Hey, Rain. But if you actually know about a bodysuit will all be one color and flesh. It won't be. It will actually hold your breast in. Her breasts were loose. Clearly, she had no bra on. Her breasts were loose and moving around and swinging. Her butt. You can see her, like the depth of her butt. You can see her groin area where the pubic hair region is. All of it is like a different color. It's not a bodysuit. One bodysuit will actually make it all one tone, and that's not even a tag for one. If you actually look closer at it on a computer or TV, you'll actually see that that's not a tag, and it's actually too big and long to be a tag. You have to zoom in. Dani, people rather believe a lie. Well, yeah. And also, naked or not, what would actually matter in the grand scheme of things? Like even if she was wearing a bodysuit, what would that change? Nothing really. She was still brutally attacked. It was on another video, I think, after the drinking game. I don't believe that it was another video on scroll from the internet. Trust me, this is social media. This is social media. I'm telling you right now. If a video was posted and people saw a video, it would be everywhere. As soon as, trust me, if I drop a video right now, and even if I delete it in like 2 minutes or like a minute, somebody would already be recording it. Trust me, this is social media. If a video had existed already, people would already be posting that video everywhere, and people already grabbed it and screen recorded and talking about it. There's no way to really scrub something from the internet once it's posted and shared. Nope. I guarantee people be having their devices ready and set on record. They be recording. Do you all think they have gotten rid of their phones, all of them? And I like even right now, if I told you right now I'm going to show something, I post a video, people will get their devices out right now, and they will be ready to screen record what I'm about to show. Trust. But I do believe that there's other videos, but I don't think other videos have been posted. So let me clarify. I do believe that there is more video footage, but I don't think that it was posted to the internet. And the reason I don't think it was posted to the internet because people are messy, nosy, and people share things on social media. So if a video was posted, it would be everywhere on here, just like the other videos everywhere. That video would go viral too. Y'all think that a Shanquella video would not go viral? Think about it. I can't wait for the LPI to finish. I want these. Ooh, girl, I gotta get that coming off. You got the devil number there. Ooh. To be charged to the fullest extent of the law. Oh, you saying that these devils, girl? Yeah, nocturnal. Is it true that Shanquella's phone did not come back with her? I have not verified the phones. I really looked into the phones, to be honest. And one live, so I heard somebody say something about she had one phone, another time she had 2 phones, and then another time this and that, and that somebody brought back her phone. And other times that someone said that her phone was left over there. That has not been to me any confirmation. It's not something that I had really looked into. Thank you for posting the playlist. It was a YouTuber who said they saw the second video of Winter with their own eyes. Trust me, if somebody had a video of Shanquella, a second video of Winter, they will post it. That's like a video that would go viral. If I had a video, I would post it. If any YouTuber really had a video of another video of Shanquella and of being attacked, they will post it. Y'all think that wouldn't be posted? Think about it. It will be posted as soon as they got their hands on it. Appreciate you. Hey, Vet. This case is like a blank slate. People will try to create their... Well, it's kind of like, to be honest, I hate to bring Kanika Jenkins into it, but once something people feel like they want more answers to a case and more things, they really just try to figure out what happened and they come up with their own theories. Okay, Shanquella was into... Okay, now that's a little too much. Okay, even the thing is, people keep on bringing up certain things. Even everything that people bring up about Shanquella having PPP loan, or she did this or did that, none of that has anything to do with her being brutally attacked in Cabo, Mexico, and killed. Somebody could do a crime in the United States. They could actually, let's say if someone actually sold drugs in the United States, they travel to Cabo and then they get killed. And people are going to say, well, they sold drugs in America. Who cares? Because that's not why they were killed in Mexico. And they still were killed. The person still has to be charged for killing them. So some things are kind of irrelevant because it doesn't really help. It doesn't really change the case. And even like a lot of people smoke weed, a lot of people drink, and that doesn't mean that somebody should get killed because of those things, or blamed for their murder because of those things. Oh, also, let me correct that because people try to lie on people. I actually pulled Shanquella's information, like her criminal record or anything that she probably did, and I didn't see any drug trafficking charges. I didn't see any drug trafficking charges that she had. So I don't know what you're talking about. There's no drug. She didn't have a drug trafficking charge. And trust me, and I have her North Carolina, anything, everybody involved, I had their criminal records. And the reason I did that is because people come on here and lie on people, and I need to make sure of what the person had, what's true and what's not true, so I can debunk it or say what's not true. I have everything from speeding tickets to anything else. I'm not saying she has speeding tickets. I'm saying I have everything that happened, like she could have been charged with in North Carolina, along with the Cabo 6. Now, I didn't post Shanquella's or anybody else's, but I did post the Cabo 6 information, but I didn't post hers. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I'm not after her. But if somebody lies on her, then I will say that's not true. She does not have no drug trafficking charge. That's untrue. And the thing is, do you know in North Carolina, you can't just go online and just access this information? So how do people even have this information? They're making things up. You can't just go online and find it. It's not going to be on there. I have the information, but trust me, you can't go on. Try to go to the North Carolina website right now and try to get that information, and you ain't going to be able to get it. She does not have no drug trafficking charge. Now, I know everything that she possibly has for North Carolina, but I'm not going to post it because none of that stuff matters to why she was killed. That's going into victim blaming and shaming and exposing, when a victim doesn't need to expose a victim and shame a victim or blame a victim and attack a victim when it has nothing to do with why they are unalive. This case is like a blank slate. They speculate and create their own stories, irrespective of known facts. Yeah. All right, y'all. So let me move on to something else. Please hit the like button on your way in. I believe it was something in Shanquella's phone because they didn't give her phone to parents right away. That's one thing too. They would check it. Chris Wecker made sure everyone knew that they would actually check phone records to make sure of anybody with electronic evidence. I don't believe there was a second video posted. I believe that there was a video that exists, a recording, but I don't think it was actually posted to social media, because everything spreads on social media. And there was a second Shanquella video with her being a high-profile case. It would have been posted and shared everywhere. Even if they don't have their phones, some info can be retrieved from their iCloud. Most people have auto backup on. Also, some companies hold your messages for 90 days, but not available to the public. Yeah, they still will be able to retrieve things that's deleted from your device. You have done great work throughout Justice for Shanquella. Thank you sincerely. Thank you, Yvette, and welcome to the channel. Or maybe you're just a Bush baby, and you're just not posting, but I haven't seen you before. They could get rid of their phones, but FBI will search those numbers on that guest log first. Yeah, they can't really get rid of electronic evidence that easily. Oh, you're still here, Maureen. Get some rest, girl. I'm pretty much done just reading these comments, right? I think the Cabo 6 family members should turn them all in. The thing is, they don't have a warrant yet. The only person that has a warrant is Dejanay. Now, if Dejanay steps her manly feet onto Cabo and Mexico, if she steps her manly toes onto Mexico land, right, or soil, then she could be arrested because she has an arrest warrant over in Mexico. But in the United States, none of them have an arrest warrant. So people keep saying that the family's hiding them out. But the truth is that they don't have an arrest warrant. Trust me, if they had an arrest warrant, then the FBI or whoever could just go pick them up, or even the local police can pick them up if they had a warrant. They actually are not arrested or even like having a warrant on their arrest yet to get arrested. So people keep saying they are hiding out, our family hiding them out. But how can you be hiding when you don't even have a warrant yet? The only person that has a warrant is Dejanay, and that's for Mexico. In the United States, she's kind of free to go around the United States, right? If she had a warrant in the United States, she would already be picked up. That's from Mexico. And that's not like an extradition warrant. She actually has just a regular warrant in Mexico. I think there is a longer version of a video. I watched the lead attorney interview Gerardo when he told them that. Gerardo already corrected that. Gerardo already came back and said on somebody else's interview with, I think, Gerald Jackson, I think he said in that interview that there isn't a second video. So watch the video. That's the thing. A lot of issues is that, to be honest, is that there are so many videos of people reporting different things that people can't really keep up with everything. Because if you actually pay attention, Gerardo already corrected himself and said that he didn't see that second video. And he already said that wasn't a video of somebody intervening. He said that on Gerald Jackson's Facebook page. So make sure you go to Gerald Jackson and see that follow-up. I put them in timeout, Dani. We're not doing that tonight. I don't know who it was, but thank you. Fact, Shanquella did not have a drug trafficking charge. She does not have a drug trafficking charge. And like I said, I didn't pull her record to be able to post it and shame her and blame her and expose her records or anything like that. I pulled it to be able to discredit or go against people. Because if someone says she has, I think that it was a time when Tells lied on her and said something about she had, what she said? She said something about her, and I said, and I pulled her thing so I can see what her reckless driving. She thought that just because she said reckless driving that she had a previous car accident. I said, no, reckless driving does not mean that someone had a previous car accident. It can just be from speeding. And that's when I pulled it, and it was true that she was speeding. I can't remember the exact miles per hour, but she was speeding. And that's in another video, right? So that's why I pulled it, not to expose her, but just to go against people lying. So it wasn't a car accident. It's most likely just from speeding. Wow, when people of no color gets breathless, you don't hear their people bringing up their past. They can stay on the topic, get justice. That's why their case gets solved. Yeah. Like, that's no reason to bring up someone's past. Like, bringing up PPP loans and all this other stuff is irrelevant. Like, what's the point? Okay. Right. Now, people can say, like, some things I talk about is like, what's the point of posting that or saying this and that? Some things I did post it for was just to keep her name in the limelight or keep her name active. Like someone said, why do we care who did her what was I post? Her her eyebrows. Why do we care? I can post what I want. And there's a difference for me posting like who did her eyebrows, and I was showing her like before and after eyebrows, and I said I like them, whatever. There's different. That's the truth. I was posting the true information. Okay, some people are posting just anything, and they're just going live, just lie about something. I didn't go live to lie. I just actually showed her eyebrow stylist who did her eyebrows, and when she got her eyebrows done, like 2 weeks before the trip, and everything like that. That might not be relevant to the case, but it wasn't a lie either. I didn't just go live and make up a lie. It was the truth. God said, "Why worry about things that you cannot change?" Oh yeah, I made a video about her microbladed eyebrows that she got 2 weeks before the trip. And it wasn't like a full video. It was just like a part of a video that I talked about other things. Do you think the Mexican authorities have her phone? I don't know who has it. I have to go back and look at videos because I heard something about the phone, but I didn't really pay attention to it. Okay, well, that has already been followed up. Shells, you have to go watch. He did another interview after that with Gerald Jackson, and he corrected himself and said there wasn't a second video. He mentioned that on Lead Attorney, and then on Gerald, he did another one. So make sure that if you're actually watching Gerardo or anybody, make sure you watch all of their videos. So if you know that you're a person that follows Gerardo, make sure that when he does an interview on Lead Attorney, say, hey, did he do another interview? Go look him up on Facebook. Go look him up on Twitter. Go look him up on YouTube. Follow him everywhere he goes so you can see what his new updates are. Because if you follow Gerardo, you would know that he did a second interview with Gerald Jackson after the Lead Attorney, and he corrected some of the information he put out. The digital footprint does not require a physical phone to retrieve data. This is where forensic data pinpoints details on phones that was deleted. And there is some information that can actually be requested directly through phone providers, right? Call logs and different things. Why is there no definitive time of when Shanquella died? I feel it happened at the end of the assault. I hate to think she was still alive when the doctor arrived. That actually comes into hand when you're doing an autopsy in mathematics and everything else. And I actually go over this in my video with Dr. Valares, right? He actually discussed the time of death, and he said that there's really a way to determine it, but it has to be done by the medical examiner. A way to actually determine the exact cause of death, time of death, right? But he also said like the 15 minutes is actually just an estimate. So that's not like a specific time, because in reality, if you have Atlas luxation, you can actually survive it if you get medical attention, or in some circumstances or situations, you can actually survive longer than that 15 minutes. So it's not set in stone for that 15 minutes. But does anyone know her exact time of death? No. No one does. But in my opinion, I think that she was alive when Nazir came and the doctor came. I think she was alive still, but I think that she had Atlas luxation, which is her cause of death, and that she was paralyzed. So she couldn't move, but she could still see and hear. And this is based on what a medical examiner stated. So when they say her body was stiff or not moving, or she couldn't move, it's because Atlas luxation causes paralysis. Okay, I need to get off here because I'm already tired now. I actually was supposed to be doing the second case. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that Gerardo guy. Yeah, some people believe him, some people don't. I personally, like I said, I give my own opinions. I believe Gerardo. Sometimes I don't think that he intentionally puts out misinformation, because as most journalists, you don't want to actually intentionally, oh, wait. Woo, let me back up. There are some people that purposely do this. I don't think that it's intentional for him to do so. I think that he has a source that gives him information, and that person is giving him information that isn't always reliable. So when the source gives him information, it's not always reliable. So then he puts it out and he gets blamed for it being out, right? And the reason I say that is because that Shanquella picture he put out with Shanquella on the floor and the paramedics there, that picture is actually real. Information he posted before about the FBI investigating or questioning the Cabo 6, that actually came out later, I verified. So some other things that came out that was verified, but as I had stated in the beginning of this video or early middle of this video, he lost credibility because he said something that really hurt people. And what really hurt people is that he said that Dani was arrested and she wasn't, and then there was a video of intervening. But the main one, when he said Dani was arrested and she wasn't, people got hurt by that. So then that's when trust was lost. While hotels think that if someone has a speeding ticket, they should be attacked and killed like Shanquella. What's wrong with people? Well, she posted that video and she said that Shanquella had a previous reckless driving charge, and that she thought that a reckless driving charge meant that Shanquella had a bad car accident, a bad wreck, and that when she had that bad car accident, she had a neck injury and a back injury. So she said that basically her injuries from the in Cabo were actually pre-existing that she got from a previous car accident. And that's when I made a video and I said that actually that previous charge for reckless driving was probably speeding because she was going, I think, 60 something to 35. Yeah, so it wasn't actually a bad car accident. And then on top of that, she said something about that's why she had medications, pain medicines on her dresser, and I went against that. So basically, yeah, she basically was just saying that she had pre-existing neck and back injuries due to a car accident because she saw a reckless driving charge, but the reckless driving charge was actually from speeding probably and not from a bad car accident. She didn't show proof of a car accident, a previous car accident. She also didn't show proof of what medication someone was possibly on. So it was just a mess. Not coming at you, boo. I was really talking about Star and the cult dragging her. I don't know what that's actually pertaining to. God said, don't whisper wisdom in the ears of a fool. He has no heart for it. True. It's just a waste of breath, really. Waste of breath. She's addressing a comment from someone else, not for you, love. Yeah, I'm probably addressing someone else. Exactly, God, take 5. God, exactly. Maybe I'm saying the wrong name. I'm talking about that reporter from Mexico. Yeah, Gerardo. Gerardo is the reporter from Mexico. And then there's Gerald Jackson, who is the NC Beat reporter. What I said earlier, I don't know if it's the comment you're referring to, but what I said was that Gerardo, the Mexican reporter or Mexican journalist, as he self-proclaimed Mexican journalist, he did an interview with the lead attorney, but then after that, he also did an interview with Gerald Jackson. So it's best to watch both interviews in the correct order. And then he also did another interview with the lead attorney. So he did an interview with the lead attorney, and then he went on Gerald Jackson, and he went back on the lead attorney. So make sure you watch all 3 of those to catch up on what happened during that time period. Yeah, so you have to watch him. You don't watch him, but the thing is, if you are watching Gerardo and you need to know what Gerardo said or what he has said, you need to watch Gerald Jackson's video so you can actually see what he said in that interview as well. That way you won't be lost on what was updated or new. Okay, but he didn't deliver today. He said he was. Beauty says, I watched a video that says 50% of people aren't breathing when ambulance arrives. 80% don't make it out of surgery. Furthermore, she could have had a chance if they took her to the hospital. Yeah, there's different things, but the thing is that all in all, it basically says the same thing, that 15 minutes is not set in stone. It's just an estimate. It's an estimate, right? It's not set in stone. There are some people that can survive from it. So it's not something that can automatically kill you in 50 minutes if there are some people that can survive, right? So that's the whole point. That was Shanquella with those clothes on, where they get them clothes. Child, I don't know. But there's 3 people. Okay, you blocked. So I figured that's what people were trolling, but to be honest, I'll be honest. Wait, let me go back to her comment first. Yeah, so basically they did have to put those clothes on her, right? They put clothes on her. And to be honest, I was actually thinking that are those really her clothes or somebody else's clothes? I don't know. But yeah, they did put clothes on her. Okay, the troll I blocked, Dani. That's who I was addressing. Child, to be honest, I don't know who's a troll and who's not a troll these days, because there are some people that legitimately they do believe what they're saying. They do believe the things they're saying and the things they are posting in my chat. So I don't know if they're actually trying to troll or if they actually believe it, because there's a lot of people that believe in different things. So if it's a question, usually I'll address it. So anyways, I read all the comments now. That's another thing. Why would Dejanay beat her like that when, of course, she knew Shanquella's injuries? Yeah, somebody brought up a good point. Like, if she had pre-existing injuries, right, and that's why I won't even go into that. It's just so dumb to even address. But I already addressed it before, but it was just so dumb. Like, even if someone had previous neck and back injuries, she didn't have atlas luxation. That's like when your head is decapitated, internally decapitated head. Your head is no longer connected to like the rest of your body, really, internally, that is. So she didn't have that before, because obviously she would already be paralyzed. She wouldn't be able to go to Cabo. So why even bring up the pre-existing injuries? Like, who cares? I can have neck pain today, but then I don't mean I have atlas luxation. Then I go to Cabo, and then someone kills, like, decapitates my head, and I have atlas luxation. You say, well, her neck was hurting before the trip. Yeah, but I didn't have atlas luxation. And then also, she didn't even have proof that she had pre-existing conditions, because she had a charge of reckless driving, which came from speeding and not actually being in a car wreck. So she didn't have any evidence or proof. But of course, she took the video down now. Oh, I'm talking about Rainbow Child, who was talking about Shanquella was into drug trafficking. Now I did see one photo of Shanquella doing something, but that does not mean that she has a drug trafficking charge. I can't remember exactly what I saw, but to me, it's irrelevant. So I didn't really even look all into it. It's irrelevant to what killed her. That's just another way to victim blame and shame and try to expose somebody for something that's irrelevant to the grand scheme of things. I'm trying to figure out how they found her in those clothes, but she arrived in pink pajamas, I think her dad said. Well, remember, after they leave the villa, after she was picked up from the paramedics at Red Cross from villa, she had to be taken to the State Department. At the State Department is where they do the autopsy. And then from the at the autopsy, they do toxicology. They have to do like an internal and external examination of the body, obviously, to perform the autopsy. And then from the State Department, they shipped them to a funeral home that actually knows all the procedures and protocols of how to ship American back to the United States, or what to do with the American that dies in Mexico. So once they got to the funeral home, that person probably put her in those pajamas, because the father got a hold of that person, and she said, I will get your daughter back to you. And she stayed in contact with him and went through the whole process for the paperwork to get Shanquella back to the United States. So my guess, because I spoke to Elizabeth and she's nice, right? I think that, my opinion, that Elizabeth is probably one that put her in those clothes. That's what I think, because she built a rapport with her father, Shanquella's father. And I think that she was the one that would do it. And she works at that funeral home. And I posted the funeral home before. And actually, if you actually look, I'm not going to post it because some people might be trying to call her. But if you actually, her father already said it. But if you first look up a funeral home in Mexico, it's like one of the first funeral homes to come up. And I actually posted a link to a website before. And if you actually look at that website, it actually gives a whole list of all the funeral homes in Mexico that work with American citizens that die in Mexico, because that most of the staff speak English. Yeah. Now, Elizabeth didn't really give me a lot of information, but she said that if you're the family, she'll give you information, which she already did, because she was already talking to the father, like, back and forth, right? But y'all know me, I'm nosy and messy, so right? So I did actually call her myself and, like, try to talk to her, right? Just try to get info on certain things and try to piece everything. So yeah, she went from the villa. Her body was transferred from the villa by the Red Cross paramedics. She went to the State Department, and from the State Department, she went to the funeral home. And at the funeral home is where the father found her. Okay. I'm talking about Rainbow Child, who was talking about Shanquella was into drug trafficking. Yeah, thank you for blocking them. The coroner probably put the PJs on her. Maybe. When she went to the, I still think it was Elizabeth because how she sounds, and she's a woman, a lady, and everything, and she was trying to be nice to the family. I really think it was Elizabeth probably put the pink, got her those pink pajamas. I put those pink pajamas on her because she said she was being nice to the father and said she would get Shanquella back home to him, right? So I think that she probably did. Now, if y'all want me to, I can message her and try to see if she'll actually respond, right? It's no harm in trying. Let me type it in. Wait, before I forget. So I'm gonna put, I might actually put something like, that was nice of you to put Shanquella in pink pajamas. If I put that was nice of you to put her in those pajamas, she might say, that's a sneaky way to get people to answer, because I'm pretending like I already know she did it, right? Even though it's not true. I don't know if she did or not. Wait, I'm gonna put, but look what time it is. I doubt she'll respond this late, obviously. Hold on. And put, that was nice of you. That was nice. Oh, come on. I'm using my translator because obviously. To ship her back home. Well, I should probably put, I heard that you put her in pink pajamas to ship her back home. That was nice of you. I heard that you, come on. I hate typing on my phone. I'm gonna put, that was nice of you, and I'm put gracias, or thank you. Okay, so if she, I'll see if she actually responds to this. Let me go back up. My translated to that was if you, like, this is annoying. Go back. Okay, so I got it. So let me go ahead and send this now. Oh my gosh, I messed up. I'm gonna delete it. Ooh, I sent the wrong one. Hold on. I sent the English version instead of translated. I deleted. Hold on. Wait. Go back. Okay, I sent it. So I'll let y'all know if she responds or not. Okay. So if she puts like, I'll see if she responds and falls for it. Okay, so if memory serves me correctly, the sister mentioned in the interview that she or the mother had Shanquella's 2 phones. Fact check me on that because I could have heard wrong. I heard something similar, but I'm not going to say yes or no until I actually look back myself. So I'm just going to leave it up in the air because I don't know for certain. Okay, that's the same thing I'm saying. I wasn't saying anything wrong. Like if I fought a friend of mine, it wouldn't be to hurt her like that. Clearing. You saying that Dejanay set out to do harm? She definitely set out to do harm because how she kicked her in the face and how she was throwing her neck, the rage and the anger she had. Like, even if you fought somebody to kick them, most people don't kick somebody in the face with their feet, right? Like, who kicks somebody in the face? Like that right there, automatically, if you kick another female in the face, you automatically have a lot of anger and you're really trying to mess up that person's face. Let's be honest. Like, people really try to go for your face when they're trying to mess your face up. Like, she kicked her hard in the face. She threw her by her neck. She really tried to really just tear her up, like really destroy her and to do a lot of damage. She really just tried to really disfigure her for real, to kick her that hard in the face. You saw that? You cannot send a body without clothes on them. Yeah, people are trying to wonder like how she went from the clothes she was wearing on the floor in the villa that Gerardo posted in that picture to wearing pink pajamas to be sent home. Somebody said before that the coroner most likely changed the clothes because once they do the autopsy, then they probably didn't put the same clothes back on. I don't know. We don't know how she got the pink pajamas, but to me, even knowing the pink pajamas is not really a question that's really something to really focus on because it's not really going to it's not going to really answer a lot of questions. All we do know is like in the picture Gerardo posted, we see what clothes she's wearing. So we see that she's not naked, and that's a real picture. So she wasn't naked when the doctor came. She was wearing those clothes, right? So the pink pajamas really don't matter because that would be after she's on alive. Hi, Dani. I just signed a petition. I have a daughter. Both of our birthdays was Thursday and Friday. She's my life, and I wouldn't know what to do if that happened. Yeah, I had wasn't you the one that said you just turned 56 or something? Happy belated birthday. I think I already said happy birthday to you on your day though, or before. But if I didn't, happy birthday. Yeah, most people don't really would know how they would feel if they lost their child, because most people would expect that they will go before their child, and no one really wants to bury their child, right? Yes, I went back to check the videos. That YouTuber said he spoke to the person who has the video went to themselves. It was someone close to some of them in the room. Well, I'm not going to knock another YouTuber and say they don't have this or that. I'm just saying that most people actually will post receipt or evidence of what they have and not just say it, because that's something that everybody would want to see. I think it was Joy they sent the video to, and she was the one who told someone they was fighting Shanquella, but I could be wrong. Possibly Joy could have information. I did see her link to some of the Instagram videos, but there's no way to really confirm right now. That's awful. Naked shame of them. I'm from NOLA, and the soul is not resting. When my brother was demised, we had 3 services for him. Then we put him on top of our mother. That was his wishes. Yeah, that's why the whole thing, like, we definitely need justice for Shanquella. And yeah, I really do think justice will come. It just will take a little longer than expected because the U.S. has to try to build a strong case. So the glove don't fit it, you must acquit. So they have to build a strong case against the Cabo 5 or 6 of whoever you to believe. When I say Cabo 5 or 6, whoever you believe, that's because some people believe Nazir's story that he wasn't as involved as he states, and some people don't. I personally believe that Nazir was not there for the brutal attack. I think he got there after the maid had already found her or whatever. But I do think that he's negligent, meaning that the family could sue him for being negligent, not getting her help sooner if it's found. And that's like civil, so that would be like a civil matter. But I wasn't there, so I don't know anything else that he could have done or not. But based on his flight time and his tickets and everything else and other information. And also the key thing I talked about before in his other video was that he was doing what I call separation. When someone is with a group and then they start seeing things about the other people in the group saying they, and he was separating himself from them and says, I walked into a murder. They were over here doing this, or they were over here doing that. So he was like separating himself from them. So that's why I said that I really don't think that he is as involved. So a lot of times I do say Cabo 5, but then I add him in sometimes as somebody that's negligent. Send it in Spanish. Yeah, I did. Accidentally, because I'm tired. I sent it in English, but then I corrected myself. Okay. But yeah, most of the time I do send stuff to her in Spanish. Yeah, it's very brutal. Okay, so I read all the comments. So says Quells was asleep in bed, most vulnerable place to be after party night when a helper drags you out like a rag doll. Yeah, we saw that one side of the bed, like the sheets were pulled. I can't wait till the day I hear they got them. My heart is torn to pieces behind this. Yes, it is. I can't wait to hear that. I can't wait till that day too. Okay, let's see. I think he was afraid to go differently than what they said. Well, I don't know. To me, there's two things, because when he got there, when he got to the villa, was the doctor already called already? Like when he got there, did they say the doctor was on her way? Right? Because if he got there and they had already called for the doctor to come, then he wouldn't call the doctor, because they already said the doctor is coming or on the way. If he got there and they had not called the doctor yet, then that would make him more negligent. So we don't know the timeline of things. Like, did they call the doctor before he got there or after he got there? Because then that will actually change things for me. Because if he got there and they said, we already called the doctor is on the way, then I wouldn't expect him to call for help, because they said the doctor's already coming for her having alcohol poisoning, right? However, if he got, because that one doctor, Carolina, the American Medical Center is a longer distance from them than the other hospital that's closer to them. So I don't know where she was coming from, but it's a longer distance away. So that would depend on how I view Nazir, is how far away was he from when he got there? Was the doctor already called, or they had to call the doctor when he got there? Because we can't say it was Nazir's job to call the hospital if he got there and they said the doctor had already been called and she's on her way. Because if I get somewhere and someone says the doctor is already coming, I'm already going to just wait for the doctor because the doctor's already coming, right? So we don't know yet. Or maybe I need to listen to his video again. Please hit the like button on your way out if you haven't already. Yeah. Yes, go ahead and sign a petition. Yeah. This ends the first part. So I'm switching over. I'm going to put part 2. At this time step, I'm going to change over to my next live. So at this time step, I'm switching over to Jalen Lewis, and then I'm going to end the live. So He said they told him the doctor was on the way. She arrived an hour after his arrival. Yeah, so I'm about to go back and listen to his live again because, like I said, if he got there and they said the doctor was already on her way, then he's not really responsible for calling the doctor because they already said she was there. Already called, right? But then people could also say that, well, he could have called 911 and not waited for a doctor. So basically, we need more of a timeline. But I still don't believe that Nazir is responsible as the others. I think that he was lied to just like everybody else. They lied to him and said it was alcohol poisoning. I think before he even got there, they messaged him or talked to him and said it was alcohol poisoning. So I think that he was lied to. The doctor was lied to. The police was lied to in Mexico. The family was lied to. Everybody was lied to about alcohol poisoning. And now it looks like, too, the family members of the Cabo have been lied to because look how defensive the mom was, right? Okay, so now everybody, I'm switching over to my live now. I'm switching over to Jalen Lewis. So I'm switching over to my second case. The second case I need everybody to sign is, let's see. Okay, so the second part of this live is about Jalen Lewis. So I'm going to give not the same amount of time, but I'm going to touch on Jalen Lewis, and I'm going to come back on Monday for something very important that happened with Jalen Lewis I'm going to discuss on Monday. I talked to several people in Mississippi about Jalen Lewis' case on the phone, and let me tell you, it's very fishy, very corrupt. There's a lot of cover up going on with this case, and I'm telling y'all, this is crazy. And already on the first day when I made phone calls about Jalen Lewis, people were already hanging up on me, already being like suspicious. For one example is this. When I call, I'm not going to get a name because I don't want people to do anything before I can make changes on Monday. When I called this number and to Mississippi, I talked to someone and then she transferred me to the wrong department. I said, don't transfer me to that department. She transferred me to the wrong department. I didn't want to be transferred to these people, but she went ahead anyways. And then I talked to that other department anyway, and I talked to them about a few things. I hung up and then I called someone else. But then something told me to call the first number I called the first time back because I was going to be like, why you transfer me to the wrong number, right? So I called that number back and she said, she told me, oh, I just got the phone with the other person I transferred you to, and she told you the same thing I told you. I'm like, why did you and her talk about me? Like, why did y'all even call each other to discuss me calling? So basically what I'm noticing is for the Mississippi case for Jalen Lewis is that a lot of people talk back and forth. They're tied at the hip. They're buddy. And to me, that can lead to a lot of bias. That can lead to a lot of bias with people like the commissioner that's supposed to be helping to investigate is buddy with the police that shot Jalen Lewis. It's just like, how can he actually have a fair case or a fair investigation when everyone that seems to be friends that's in the politics or officials or with the police and everything else? It's crazy. So it kind of like reminds me like a small town, or I don't know if it's a small town. I'm just saying it reminds me of like old days or something. Like, this is crazy. So anyways, what I need everyone to do right now is actually go ahead and sign my petition, change.org/Jalen Lewis. That's change.org/Jalen Lewis. Go ahead and sign this petition as well so I can get to 1,000 signatures. And if you did not watch my previous live on Jalen Lewis, it's on this channel. It says what happened to Jalen Lewis, and I discussed this whole case, and I also discussed the petition. Basically, to give you a small summary, 25-year-old Jaylen was fatally shot in the head by a member of Mississippi Capitol Police Task Force while driving around with a female friend. He was shot in the head by an on-foot officer. He was following traffic laws. He was not doing anything wrong, and he was shot by a cop that did not identify themselves and not turn on lights or anything else behind him. He was being followed by police, and he was also shot by an on-foot police officer. What makes this case crazy is this. They will not give the name of the police officer who shot him. They will not give the name of the police officer who shot Jaylen at all. They will not give the autopsy report. They will not give a police report. They won't give you any information on this. And it happened 4 months ago. So 4 months ago, Jaylen was shot while driving around in his car, and he was at a red light. He was shot in the head, and they won't even give the name of the police officer who shot him. And my question is this: why is it hard for you to give us the name of the police officer who shot him? And they said, oh, it's because there's an ongoing investigation. So how is it that you can't give me the name of the officer who shot him? That does not interfere with the investigation. That does not impede an investigation or stop an investigation. Because you know what? Every day people are shot, are killed, or things like that. And they always give us the name of the shooter. And giving us the name of the shooter does not interfere with an investigation, right? So they don't even want to give us the name of the officer who shot Jaylen. So the mom, after 4 months, does not know who shot her son. And in most states, an officer has to identify themselves or give their badge number or tell you who they are. So why are they hiding the name of the police officer? They refuse to give the name of the police officer involved that shot Jaylen. Secondly, there was other officers involved as well. And according to the Michigan Bureau of Investigations, that they said that 4 officers were put on administrative leave. But if 4 officers were put on administrative leave, right? How do we know that? How do we know that they were put on administrative leave? Because we don't even know the names of the officers. We don't know the names of the officers. So how can we verify that they were put on administrative leave? Secondly, they did give the body of Jalen Lewis to his parents and his mother, right? But they refuse to give the autopsy report. Like, why not give the autopsy report when you already gave his body and then he had his funeral? So they don't get an autopsy report. They don't get a police department. They won't even give the names of the officer after 4 months. And when I made phone calls, people were hanging up on me. People were being rude, and people were just being like, really, in my opinion, just trying to cover for each other and even going back, calling each other and saying, I'm calling. Like, it's just a mess. And I really feel like one person I was talking to was pretending to be someone else, but it's somebody in government, but I can't say who, because I have to call back Monday to try to figure things out. I don't want to put these phone calls out right now because it can mess up things. So I'm gonna hold on to these phone calls, and then I'm gonna call back Monday and make some other phone calls. But y'all, this is actually very fishy and sketchy, and it's a lot going into this. I'm telling you. So what I need to do is I actually need people's help on this. But first, let me go ahead and give you an update, because if you don't know about this case, you need to watch my video, What Happened to Jalen Lewis, because it's already late and I don't have time to go over what happened to Jalen Lewis. But I have a video, What Happened to Jalen Lewis. It goes into full details, because right now I'm not giving the full scope of this. And I actually want to get a hold of the family and just bring them on, whatever. But this is crazy, right? Oh, so also when his sister came out, because she heard about what happened, she came out. She was videotaping what was happening after he was shot, right? And they handcuffed her because they said that, oh, it's because of your safety. We need to protect you for your safety, right? But it turns out that to me, they just handcuffed her because they wanted to stop her from videotaping. So I really can't get into it a lot tonight. I actually might just make a separate live, because this requires its own live, because it's a lot of information. And I know some of you are unfamiliar with this case, but please sign a petition. Can you post it? I need people to sign this petition. I actually sent out an email today. And the reason I really wanted to do this, because I actually want to take a break for Sunday. I need to take a break and refresh or whatever. But let's see. So Jaylen is the father of 2 young children, obviously, who are not old enough to understand what happened. Yesterday, let me tell you, yesterday they had a protest. The family, it was mostly family members and friends of the family that went out and protest. So they really do need help, and other people on board helping. So if you're in Mississippi and you can actually help or go to protest, make sure you follow this case, okay? So yesterday, let me show you these videos from yesterday where they had a protest. Wait. Where is it? Well, yeah, on the petition, I have a lot of emails and people to contact. And I've been calling these numbers, y'all. I started calling these numbers Friday, but I only had like an hour and a half to make phone calls before they close. And then they won't be open until Monday for most of these people. So I have to wait till Monday to finish phone calls. Okay, so let me go up. Wait, did I update it on here? I thought I did. Okay, let me refresh this page. But yeah, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be crazy. I can even tell right now. And I'm actually happy that this place has, it's a one-party consent state, so I can actually record phone calls for Mississippi. And I need to record these phone calls because one person was like, he said, this is at a government official, right? A government office. He said, do you even understand what the word investigation means? You know how people do that, like a microaggression like that? Like, they say something like, do you understand what this means? Like trying to be like you're stupid or something. Like they said it in a tone, like to call you stupid or whatever. And I was like, you can release the name of a suspect and you can release the name of a suspect and still continue an investigation. That happens every day. Every day people are arrested, but people can still continue the investigation just because we know the name of the suspect. That doesn't interfere with the investigation. I'm not stupid. Why are you hiding the name of the officer who shot Jalen Lewis? As a mother, who wouldn't want to know who shot their son? Like, why you know who shot this? Like, I understand that people are still trying to find out who shot somebody, and they said we're investigating, trying to figure out who shot somebody. But this is a police officer. You know who shot him because he works for your task force. You know who shot him that night. There were 4 officers and 1 shot him. You put 4 officers on administrative leave, so you know who shot Jalen Lewis. So you tell the mother who shot her son. And don't say that we can't say it because it will interfere with the investigation or it's an ongoing investigation. No, it's not, because every day suspect mugshots are put out before they even are found guilty in court. Their mugshot and name is put out, and then the police and FBI and everybody continues to investigate while that person is arrested. So releasing the name of a suspect does not interfere with the investigation unless you are still trying to capture that suspect or the suspect is on the loose or on the run and you don't want people to know certain things. But in this case, no, because if it was the other way around and tables were turned and Jaylen had shot the cop, Jaylen's face and name would be everywhere as someone who shot that police officer, right? But now when the tables are turned, they actually hide the name of the police officer. And tell me, in what case where it involves any officer, whether it's choking, putting their knee on someone's neck or anything, have they not released the name of the officer? Tell me one case where they have not released the name of the officer who shot someone or killed someone. Armed black person or any black person or anything at all. At any point, when have they withheld the name of officers who are allegedly put on administrative leave or who shot someone? And how does that interfere with an investigation, releasing the name? So change.org /Jalen Lewis.
Just for Jalen Lewis! 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 Jalen Lewis! Just for Jalen Lewis! Just for Jalen Lewis! Just for
Okay, it says happening now, protests at Mississippi State Capitol demanding answers in shooting death of 25-year-old Jalen Lewis last summer by Capitol police officers in Jackson. Like I said, he was just driving around when an unmarked police officer with no lights on started following him. He got on the phone with his friend, like, somebody's following me. He thought somebody was out to get him or whatever else. And by the time he was in the passenger seat was his female friend, right? By the time he got to a red light and he was sitting at a red light, another police officer came out like from in front, like from out of nowhere, like in the front of like the vehicle while they were at the red light, and shot through the windshield and shot Jaylen in the head. His sister came out to the scene. They had not even called 911 emergency to get help yet. He was just like, they took a long time to call emergency 911. His sister started videotaping the crime scene to see what was going on. Like to keep, you know how like you get there and you're like videotaping. They handcuffed her and said, "Oh, it's for your own safety to get you out the road." But we all know they were just trying to stop her from recording, because in order to cover this up and to protect their own ass and to think of something, they don't want anybody recording the after he's on the live, after he's been shot. Actually, he didn't get on the live at that time. He still, I think he survived a little longer than that, right? But they didn't get him fast emergency help, obviously, right? We have the same thing happen a lot of times. People don't want to get people help right away. They're too focused on trying to cover up or figure out something to say instead of getting somebody help. They did give the body of Jaylen to his mother for a funeral, but to me, it's weird and sketchy that you give the body for a funeral, right? But then at the same time, you don't give the autopsy report, and it's been 4 months, and you hold on to the autopsy report. To me, I really do feel that they wanted the family to have the body of Jaylen, and then they wanted the family to hurry up and bury him and do a funeral, and then so that can be part of the cover up, because they can say, well, he's already buried in the ground, so then it'd be harder for the family to do their another private autopsy or do another autopsy, because he's already buried. They would have to actually dig him up to do another autopsy. So that's suspicious to me, right? So give the autopsy. They need to give the autopsy report. They also, the first thing we need to demand, we need to know who shot Jalen Lewis. That should be who shot him, right? Because that's information that should have been released the first day. Let me go back. So let me go ahead and show you some more videos from the protests. Protests they had. Hold on. So as you can see, that was mostly the family and friends of Jalen Lewis, and it actually needs to be more people knowing about this case and what's going on, because this is like a Jackson. I'm telling you, when I was on the phone with these people are covering things up. They are not releasing information. They are trying to really cover. They're protecting somebody, and I really do believe that it's the person that shot Jalen Lewis is somebody that's friends with a lot of people that works at that Capitol Police Department, because Capitol Police Department is with the state. I think that that person is friends, are connected, and the 4 people involved are really friends with the officials in that in Jackson. So they are being protected. Yep, they are being protected. They don't even want to give the names and getting smart with me on the phone. Smart. Do you understand what investigation is? And I get off the phone on one person, and then they're already calling another person about me, saying that, oh, I talked to her too. Like they are too out. Something is really fishy going on with these people in Jackson. So anyways, I made an update. I have one more thing, and then I need y'all to help with. I'll show you in just a second. Where's the update part? So if you go to the petition page and you actually go to updates, and then I put a protest was held yesterday demanding justice for Jaylen. We need your help. And I'm going to tell you how you can help with this case right away, because this is something I want done over the weekend or as ASAP. I think my ad blocker is blocking me and so on. Okay, it says, Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Thanks for signing the petition. We are almost at 1,000 signatures, which is great for a new petition. If everyone shares this petition with everyone that they know, we can double the number of signatures we currently have. So please share this petition with your contacts on social media and everywhere. Secondly, yesterday a protest was held to demand justice for Jalen Lewis. If more protests are held, the info will be sent via the petition for those that want to join the family in their pursuit of justice. And here's the second video of protests. So I'm going to show you these videos.
We demand answers. We want answers now. We demand answers. We demand answers now. Just for Jalen Lewis. Justice for Jalen Lewis. We demand answers. We demand answers. We want answers now. We demand answers. We demand answers now. Just for Jalen Lewis. Justice for Jalen Lewis. We demand answers. We demand answers. We want answers now. We demand answers. We demand answers now. Just for Jalen Lewis. Justice for Jalen Lewis. We demand. Just for Jalen Lewis. Jalen Lewis. Just for 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 Jalen Lewis.
Well, the family of Jalen Lewis just held a protest demanding answers from Capitol Police over the death of the 25-year-old. Lewis had died after a shooting incident involving Capitol Police on September 25th. And our 12 News' Richard Lake joins us live from the Capitol. Richard, what did the family have to say?
Well, Jalen's mother, Arkila Lewis, according to her, she told us that they have heard nothing from Capitol Police or the Department of Public Safety since his death. Now, Jalen Lewis's death was the fourth shooting in the last 5 months by Capitol Police, and there has been no body cam footage released and even no police report released since the incident occurred in September. And for the Lewis family, they simply just want answers.
I just feel some type of way that no one has reached out to me or my family. I don't make this a career. This is not I don't bury children yearly. So I don't know how any of this is supposed to go or how this goes, but I know that somebody should at least try to contact us and say something and give us something, and no one has done that yet. So, and it hurts. It really hurts.
Now, the family has reached out to the Department of Justice asking for a federal investigation into the death of Jalen and other Capitol Police shooting incidents. And we have reached out to the Department of Public Safety for comment and have not yet to hear back. We'll make sure to keep you updated on if we do. For now, it's been Richard Lake reporting live from the Capitol for 12 News.
All right.
There are some other videos also on YouTube, and there's also a Pastor Pickett who has been helping the family. So he has videos on YouTube, and I don't have time to go over those videos right now. I probably will say that for the new live, but I do want to wrap this up by going over what you can do to help. First things first is actually sign a petition. That's change.org/Jalen Lewis, change.org/Jalen Lewis. And also, if you go to the updates tab, you will see this information. What I need everyone to do today is email the Attorney General's Office of Public Integrity and demand transparency. It will only take a minute of your time to send out an email. Let's flood their inbox. I need to edit this, but so by Monday, they'll have dozens of emails about Jalen Lewis. Although I have other people on the petition that I want you to contact, I really need you to email the below people first. The Mississippi Attorney General, through his Public Integrity Division, is committed to accountability and transparency to all Mississippians. Basically, the Public Integrity Office is focused on ensuring trust in public service. It investigates and prosecutes public corruption. And I do think there's a lot of corruption with this case. And white collar crime, including investigations and review of officer involved shootings. So this department does focus on officer involved shootings, allegations of improper use of force, abuse of power, and other misconduct of public officials. And that's exactly what I'm seeing happening. So what I need everyone to do is actually to email the following people: Lindsay Cranford, and I have her email address here. This is, by the way, anybody reviewing this video, this is a public email address of a public official. Lindsay Cranford, her email address is right there. Shirley Summers, that's her email. Let me zoom in because some people don't want to go to the petition on the updates tab, so you can be able to see these. Hold on. Okay, Lindsay Cranford, Shirley Summers, both of those work with the Public Integrity Office. And then below, I have the Attorney General, Lynn Fitch. I have 2 email addresses for her, so contact both of those email addresses at the same time. I also have her Twitter handle. Also up here, I also have Lindsay Cranford. And what I mean by this is crazy. This is the Office of Public Integrity, right? But I also did see this person is following other people. So I'm seeing a connection between some people following certain people on Twitter or following certain accounts. When I'm like, you're in charge of investigating these people at some point in time, but you're all buddy with these same people. Weird, and that can lead to bias, right? Lindsay Cranford, Shirley Summers with the Office of Public Integrity. And then we have Attorney General Lynn Fitch. I have his email addresses, right? Her email addresses, and I even have a phone number. But right now, over the weekend, I just need y'all to email all these people. So on Monday, they will have a bunch of emails about Jalen Lewis. It's the top 2 are the Public Integrity. And then at the bottom, I have U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Mississippi, Darren J. Lamarca. And I have his email address. He's from the DOJ. And sometimes they can step in as well from the Department of Justice for these types of cases. They can step in when it's something like officer involved. And the reason I say this is happening, I'm trying to give some outsiders to look into this, because the people investigating from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation and the Mississippi Department of Safety, those people, I promise you, I'm going over it in another video, but I go to their Facebook, they're all friends with the Capitol Police. The Capitol Police is who shot Jalen Lewis. 4 of the officers are involved, right? But they are buddy with the people investigating them from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations and the Mississippi Department of Safety. They're buddies. So I need people outside of that department and outside of those entities and organizations or businesses or, whatever you want to call it. I need people outside of that to investigate this. That's why I said I contact the DOJ and also the Public Integrity. But what's crazy is the Public Integrity people, one of them, Lindsay, I actually saw her following people from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, right? And that's who is investigating the Capitol Police. So she might not be buddy with the Capitol Police, but she's buddy with the people that are investigating them, and those people are buddy with the Capitol Police. So there's like all these connections, right? That's why I brought in the last person on this list, which is Department of Justice from Mississippi. He might be buddy with people I haven't looked closely, but I'm seeing a lot of like interwoven things and people connected where it can be like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, and favor for favor, and possibly cover up. Because there's no way that 4 months later we don't know the names of these 4 officers that were involved. So this is my last name. Basically, right now I need you to share the petition to more people so we can spread awareness and get more signatures. Then I need you to email Lindsay and Shirley from the Office of Public Integrity as well as Attorney General Lynn Fitch and U.S. Attorney Lamarcus from the Department of Justice. Follow the Twitter page, Justice for Jaylen. So Justice for Jaylen is what you follow on Twitter. I have already tweeted some of these people, so you can like and retweet some of the people. And yeah, have a blessed weekend. I'm gonna read comments and then that'll be it. There's a lot more for Jaylen, so I might have to do a separate live. Yeah, and most likely what I'll do is I'll actually separate these lives for the first part and second part. I don't know. But yeah, I will see y'all back Monday. Yeah, so I'll see y'all back Monday. And this video already played. So, wait. So Lindsay, definitely, Lindsay Cranford and then Shirley Summers, definitely. But I prefer everyone to email all the people on this, the 4 people I just showed. Lindsay, Shirley Summers. You can send one email. You can send one email, but then just add all these people to the email, like a group email to these people. Don't take a minute to do it. That way, by Monday, they will have a lot of emails. Right now, the family and close friends have to be fighting this battle alone. They are all they're you saw the people marching. It's only they need help. A lot of people are scared to speak out because this kind of community right here, they try to silence people. They try to cover up and hide and try to shut people up, right? So the family needs help. 4 months without knowing who shot her son, who shot their brother after 4 months, right? You can always tell the shooter. You can tell us who shot him without actually interfering with the investigation. That's not something you keep a secret. And I talked to the Capitol Police and the local police. They all said that the officer has to identify themselves, or if someone asks who the officer is, like if the officer stops me or anything like that, I have to say, if I say, who are you, or your name or your badge, they have to give it to me, right? So what changes now? I want to know the officer and the badge's number or the officers involved. Simple. So those are the 4 people I need email. All right, y'all, have a good night. Let me read your comments about Jalen Lewis, and then that'll be it. And for the people wondering, it's this time of night, and Elizabeth has not wrote me back yet. So it's still on red. But if she responds, y'all know I will update y'all. Okay. Let me scroll up. Okay. I really didn't see y'all answer about. Okay, you said Lucy the maid, and she found Shanquella cold and hard to the touch around noon. The autopsy said the time of death was 3 p.m., but the Dr. Carolina said she died at 5:57 p.m. That's the thing. Lucy said, how many of y'all have felt somebody when they're paralyzed? Because the medical examiner said that she would experience with atlas luxation, she would be immediately she would be paralyzed with that condition. 100. So she won't be able to move her body at all. So how does person's body feel when they're paralyzed and they can't move with their body at all? So to me, when the maid found her, she was actually paralyzed. That's why she slumped over and she couldn't move. She would be stiff, right? Wouldn't she be stiff and she won't be able to move because she's paralyzed? She could from the start from her neck down, she couldn't move. Okay. So a lot of times when people are explaining her condition, they leave out the part that she had atlas luxation, which would mean she was paralyzed from her neck down. You're leaving that part out. So when someone has atlas luxation, they can't move their body. So how would someone describe somebody that's not moving? Their body is not moving they're paralyzed from the neck down. How would you describe that body? You don't see her moving her hands, her arms, legs, or anything. Like, she just, to me, to be honest, when somebody can't move anything from their neck down, that's kind of like a weird way to find somebody, right? Especially when you don't expect, you expect alcohol poison, but you actually find someone paralyzed, but you don't know they're paralyzed because people are saying it's alcohol poisoning. So I never touched someone's body that's paralyzed from the neck down to see how it will feel. But I'm sure it probably is different from someone that's alive, right? I mean, not alive. Ugh. Someone that's not paralyzed. Okay, well, can I get a few more people to sign change.org? Okay, there's 186 people watching, so I still know that some people have not signed change.org /Jalen Lewis. So I know I can get a few more people to sign this petition right here. And also to sign, I'm sure most of you have already signed Shanquella's petition already.
On Monday,
They can't silence it.
Okay. Hey, Red Lips Hustle. Yeah, you're late. Woo, child, I was not expecting to be on this long. Thank you so much. Thank you, Moz, for helping out. Oh wow, thank you all for signing the petition. Now I'm hoping that by tomorrow night, I have 1,000 signatures. My question, I'm telling you, keep ringing in my head is who shot Jalen Lewis? Like, that's like the first step to me is knowing who. You know how many cases are unsolved and like cold case? People always want to know who shot the person or who killed the person, right? A lot of times people don't know because it's a mystery. But the thing is, this is not a mystery. They put 4 officers allegedly on administrative leave 4 months ago. Chances are they might actually be still back working. We don't know because they never gave names. But usually a killer name isn't released because people don't know who the killer is. But it's weird when people know who killed someone and they don't release a name, right? So I never heard of someone knowing who killed somebody or shot somebody, but they don't tell who did it. His family needs to sue and contact the FBI. Yeah, the FBI doesn't automatically step into cases, but I don't know because look, this is actually Capitol Police and that's state, right? But it's not like this is state, but not federal. But I already on the list. I actually contacted I have the information for the federal FBI for Jackson, Mississippi. So I did try to add them as well, and also the contact for the DOJ. I've also signed a petition for Jalen Lewis and shared it on my platform. Yeah, thank you, God Take 5. So basically, this is the Capitol Police Department, and it's more with the state. Oh, I can't say that. I can't say it. See, I have some phone calls I wanted to play, but I can't play it because I don't know if anybody will actually be listening or I can mess up other phone calls. So I'm going to keep my phone calls right now. And then I'll play them after I make more phone calls. Once I call everybody on the list, then I'll play the phone calls. I'm not going to play it now. 959 signatures. See, I need to get at least 40 more signatures by tomorrow night. Yeah. Yeah, this is the video of what happened to Jalen Lewis. I probably should have had this live separate and when I had more energy because now I'm tired. But I definitely wanted to. The main thing I really want y'all to do is please email. Go ahead and send these emails out. It won't take about a minute to send these emails out. Thank you all. Thank you for Angelica for signing. Thank you, Marie. So who shot Jalen Lewis? That's the question I want to know. That's the answer. I need the answer to that. The officers must be white because they acted swiftly when 5 black officers were fired within days of the death. Child, you know it. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, a lot of these people are connected. They are. You can just go on Facebook and Twitter. A lot of these are buddy, old pals, and connected people. Okay, please don't keep on talking about it's an ongoing investigation. That's the same bull crap. Every day, people are shot and killed, and if they know the name of the suspect, they release it. The person gets arrested, there's a mugshot, the name of the person is released. How does that stop an investigation? How does that interfere with an investigation? That never interferes with an investigation. It never does. It's not going to change anything just because we know the name of the killer. It never has. It never has. Okay, that's obviously protecting someone's name, protecting someone's image, protecting a company, an organization, a task force. That's what it is. We don't need an ongoing investigation for knowing who shot somebody. Just like with the murder of George Floyd, we know who the officer was there. What happened if they said the officer? What happened if for Eric Garner or even George Floyd, right? If they killed them, right, and then they didn't release the name and said, "Oh, we're not gonna tell you who put their knee on George Floyd's neck. We're not gonna tell you that officer's name." And what happened if they just left and they never told us the officer's name? And that would be suspicious, right? Right? You always tell the officer's name. You always tell the suspect's name. That's not going to interfere with an investigation. That's dumb. And I don't like when people put out dumb stuff. I'm not saying you're dumb, sweet mama, Alabama. I'm saying that that's a dumb thing to say, is that they can't release the name of a cop or a suspect or a killer because it's going to interfere with an investigation. That's not going to interfere with anything. The only time you want to say anything is when you don't know who the killer is and you're trying to figure out, and you don't want this killer to try to escape or people to mess with stuff or destroy evidence because you don't want the killer named. And you don't know who the killer is. You're actually investigating, trying to find out who killed somebody. But in this case, we already know who the shooter is. And don't forget, 4 officers were allegedly put on administrative leave, right? So 4 officers were put on administrative leave, but they never gave the names of the officers that were put on administrative leave. Why not? There's a lot of times when they put an officer or somebody on administrative leave and they give the names. These officers were put on administrative leave. I'm telling you, they are protecting the names of these people, and nobody can tell me differently. I guarantee you that if Jaylen had shot the cop that night, his mugshot name would already be out. And somebody, don't at me because I know it's true. If Jaylen had shot the officer, the white cop, his picture and image would be all over the social media right now. If it was the tables were turned. And if you say that's not true, you're lying. If you say that if Jaylen has shot that white cop and his name and mugshot won't be everywhere right now, you're lying. They won't release the body cam. I'm telling you, it's been 4 months of nothing. And I'm telling you right now, if somebody shot my family member 4 months ago and they won't even tell me who shot them, even though they know who shot them and said they were administrative leave, and won't tell me any updates or anything else, autopsy, body cam, no nothing. Something is fishy going on. And I'm telling y'all right now, I'm looking at social media, I'm looking at places, I'm telling you, all these people are connected, scratching each other back or something happening. They're protecting the name. Now, if they gave the names of the officers and they said it was an ongoing investigation, they're on administrative leave, and they're more transparent, that would be different. But for them not to even get the names of the officers and being secretive about giving the name of the officers, y'all, that's sketchy. And anybody says otherwise, they lying. For every case of I known about any Black person being killed or anybody being killed, if they know who shot the person or killed the person, they give that name. Is there a way to petition for the autopsy to be released to the family? That's the point. We got more pressure needs to be applied. Their goal right now is to try to avoid phone calls, avoid giving any kind of acknowledgement to it, to me, to sweep this under the rug and try to find a way to cover it up. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on it. They're really, trust me. When I call somebody, I wish I could play those phone calls, y'all. See, once I play those phone calls, y'all see what I'm talking about. It's sketchy, very sketchy. And then one person was like, do you understand what an investigation is? And I was like, well, in all cases of murder and everything else, if they know the killer, whether it's a cop or not, that you can release the name of the killer or the person who shot the person, the perpetrator. You can release the name. That's not going to interfere with the investigation. Since when has releasing the name of a suspect interfere with the investigation? Not in this type of case. The only time I've seen that is when they're trying to, they have possible suspects, not a definite suspect. They have possible suspects and they don't want to say anything because they're trying to investigate. But when it's a definite suspect and they know exactly who shot the person, that's not going to interfere with anything. Nobody can tell me otherwise. This is just all a cover up. I haven't brought all my brother's dash cam for Xmas 3 years ago. Yeah, it's good to have a camera on your phone, definitely. How can we help? Yeah, send the email to the 4 people I have mentioned right here. I posted in the chat. These 4 people: Lindsay Cranford, Shirley Summers, Attorney General Lynn Fitch, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Mississippi, Darren J. Lamarca. Send an email to these people. And like I said, the top 2 people are the public integrity because they are supposed to be like outside of the police department and they're supposed to investigate public corruption and white collar crime. But like I said, one of these people, I ain't trying to be funny, but Lindsay, I saw that you're Twitter friends. Well, it doesn't always mean anything, but Twitter friends with 2 people that are buddy with the Capitol Police. So I don't know. To me, when you get too close. Now I know, to be honest, when you are working in a certain field of careers, you start going to parties or meetings or conferences with certain people, y'all become friends. But to actually have a job in the Office of Public Integrity and you have to actually investigate public corruption, you have to make sure that you keep an arm's length between yourself and other people that you possibly or potentially could investigate in the future, because that can lead to bias, right? So it says Office of Public Integrity. So I hope that she's not affected by certain affiliations or connections, that she actually could help. And like I said, I'm going to be contacting these people Monday. That's why, to be honest, I love the weekends, but at the same time, nothing can really get done on the weekend. So that's why I said I'm going to go ahead and go live tonight, and then I'm going to take a break on Sunday, and then so I can be calling Monday. I made some calls on Friday, but I didn't have enough time to call everybody. Okay. Right. The names can be released, which nothing to do with the internal investigation. The mother has every right to know who is responsible for shooting her son. Exactly. But they are trying to make us seem like dumb or stupid, like, oh, we can't release the name or we can't give any information because ongoing investigation. That's not true. You can release the name of the shooter or the perpetrator, suspect, offender, whatever you want to label them. Okay. That's just, oh my gosh. I hate when people pretend like people are so stupid. And that's why one person hung up on me. I'm like, and in fact, the cops are supposed to identify themselves. And just to confirm, I actually called let me stop. I'll talk about that later. Because things get around and people Google themselves or try to find information or try to research and stay on top of things. And we are dealing with people that are lawyers. A lot of people have law degrees and other things. I don't need them to be getting ahead of things. Correction has nothing to do with internal. Yeah, exactly. One thing I know as a private security officer is to observe and report, and baby, this will be another reason for me to get better at it. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for sharing a petition. Ooh, child. Okay, I'm sleepy. I gotta get off here. But yeah, I need to make sure that, yeah, it's Jackson, Mississippi. Dani has put a lot of information regarding the case within the petition. Change.org/Jalen Lewis. Please sign and share. Let's work together to demand answers. Yes. Hey, yeah, make sure you're hashtagging this justice for Jalen Lewis. Hello, Dani and chat and friends. Hey, and thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Yes, here's a petition. We are being haunted. Yes, exactly what it seemed like happened to him when he just stopped at a red light. That's obeying traffic laws. If someone's trying to get away or flee and doing all this, most people are not going to stop at a traffic light. Come on. But yes, he stopped at a traffic light as obeying traffic laws. And then within a few moments, he was shot in the head by an on-foot officer. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, that's the previous video. So make sure you watch the video what happened to Jalen Lewis and watch this all before Watch that video and then also send emails. You don't actually have to watch that video to send emails. You can actually read the petition because that video mostly is going over the petition. The petition has all the information that you need on this case. That's how it all work. Judge, prosecutor, defense attorney, police chief, and they all play golf and drink together, holiday parties, and like you said, scratch and work one another back. Yeah. Trust me, I can tell because like I said, I called one person and before I even called that person back, she had already talked to the person I talked to previously. I'm like, so y'all calling each other? Like, what? Okay. Yes, true. But I wouldn't say all because not everyone is like that, but some. Okay. Seems like your body should still be room temperature because your blood is still flowing. Well, I don't know because I actually haven't even seen I haven't actually seen the full police report, official police report of that, right? Where did that even come from? I haven't seen the full official police report even saying all the stuff about Lucy. Okay, we seen the unofficial police report with some statements. We didn't see the full police report mentioning Lucy and all this other stuff. Good night, everyone. Please hit that like button on your way out. Continue to share the Justice for Shanquella and Justice for Jalen Lewis petitions, and we will see you soon with more info and updates. Yes. Okay, this will actually be saved for a different day. Well, you will have a lot of energy. Sorry, but Arlene, I'm about to get off. You have too much. I don't have that much energy. I already had discussed Shanquella the first half. Let's see. No one knows exactly about anything about how many times her body was moved and this and that. And yeah, no one knows who put clothes on her either. No, all these questions can't be answered besides by the people that were actually there. Only thing I can do is ask Elizabeth if she is the one that changed her into pink pajamas, and if she even answers. I already asked her, but she hasn't responded. Look what time it is. Most likely she won't even see this message until tomorrow. Yeah, and actually there were like 4 people shot within a short amount of time, like almost close like 2 months time span. So no telling. If a person is paralyzed and still alive, they will be warm to the touch. Well, to be honest, I hate to say this, but it's true. No one has seen the official police report actually show what the maid said and what other people said. We have only heard what people said. We have not seen the official police report to see all the statements. What I do know is the concierge said that the police had questioned the chef, the maid, and the concierge. They all have been questioned by the police. He said he wouldn't give me the names of the people, but he said they all have been questioned. However, we have not seen the statement from the maid exactly what she said. We have heard hearsay. So until I actually see the official thing, what I do know and what is true is that her cause of death is atlas luxation. And with atlas luxation, someone is going to be paralyzed from the neck down based on what a medical examiner said. That's all I do know. So how the maid felt when she felt her or whatever else, I don't know. But I just can go by that she had atlas luxation, which is internal decapitation. So she was paralyzed when she was paralyzed from that condition. As soon as she got that condition and she was paralyzed, the medical examiner said she could actually feel the paralysis coming on. He described it. Go watch the second Nancy Grace interview to see the full explanation of atlas luxation by a medical examiner. Okay, well, Sherry, that's what you say, but I'm going by what a medical, more than one medical examiner stated. And that's not always true because What you're saying is that someone will automatically die from that and instantly die. But the truth is, a lot of people, some people have survived from having alloxylation, so it's not immediate, or it's not always that someone will die. Some people you can actually survive from it. So the way you're stating that is someone actually has to die every time they have alloxylation, that's not true. Okay, without a doubt. Administrative leave will pay because they didn't say without pay. This would be crazy. This world is crazy. Child, we don't even know. And somebody even said someone was on administrative leave, but how can we verify that? We don't know who you're talking about. Even if they were with the person and didn't do the crime, their face would have been plastered. Exactly. Even before you go to court, like if you get arrested, if I were to shoot someone and my name and mugshot would be put everywhere, right? And let's say if I didn't shoot someone, if they actually just accused me of shooting someone and thought I was shot someone, they would actually put my mugshot and everything everywhere before I even was found guilty of it, right? So they definitely would have had his mugshot everywhere. Jalen's mugshot, if he had shot the officer, it would have said Jalen Lewis shot a police officer in Jackson, Mississippi on this road, on this day and this time. But now it's the other side around. Even if it was an ongoing investigation, they would say, well, the killer is Jalen Lewis, but this investigation is still ongoing. No other information will be released. Trial, like, this is just dumb because in every case, we all know that they arrest a person, they give out the person's name, they post their mugshot, and then they say, well, we won't give you any other information because it's an ongoing investigation. But we always get the mugshot and we always get the name of the person. Even if the person isn't arrested, we still get their name, right? So that's why I said this is a cover-up. Yep. Okay. I wanted the cop was undercover. That's the only thing that would make sense of why there's no name given, but I don't know if that's the case. No, because both what you call it? They stated that 4 officers were put on administrative leave. So if 4 officers were put on administrative leave, that means they know all the names of the officers, because in order to put them on administrative leave, you have to know their name and you have to put them on administrative leave pending the investigation. But we don't know if they actually are there or not. Now, are you talking about that the officer might be an undercover cop and they don't want to release his name because that can ruin his undercover activities or what he does as undercover? I seriously doubt that, because this is the Capitol Police Department, and the Capitol Police, go watch my other video, I already go over it. The Capitol Police are in charge of certain things, and I doubt that they would have some kind of undercover thing going on. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know which way your question goes, but either way it goes, I doubt that's the case. Please sign and share the Justice for Jaylen petition, change.org/Jalen Lewis. Take note of all action steps within the petition. Yeah, I don't believe that was an undercover cop at all. Well, they did say that a car following them was unmarked or something, or didn't really identify themselves. I really have to go back and look. However, the Capitol Police, I don't believe, are police officers that would be like undercover in a way that they would do some kind of grand old secret undercover operation, like some kind of drug bust or something, like DEA or something, that they would actually need to do some kind of investigation or something that would be actually hidden, and that the cop name can't be known because it would expose some kind of operation. I doubt that. I'm telling you, this is the good old boys, Jackson, Mississippi. These people are just protecting the good old boys. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. They just don't want to get the names of the officers, because I believe that it goes deeper into other people being affected, and they're trying to protect their eyes. Because like I said, the people investigating the Capitol Police are buddies with the Capitol Police. Ooh. So trust me, if somebody said if the Capitol Police shot my son, right, why would I go to the Facebook of the people that are investigating the Capitol Police And I see a lot of praise from them. They're saying, "Oh, great job, Capitol Police. Oh, good job, Capitol Police." And they're taking pictures with the Capitol Police. Oh my gosh. It's like, how can you expect a fair, unbiased investigation when you see the people investigating are friends with the people that they're investigating? That's why I said we need we need somebody from the DOJ, somebody from Attorney General's office, governor's office, or somebody over that police department. Oh, but I don't trust that governor. I can't say right now, but that governor's office, ooh, Tate Reeves. I can't say right now, but Child, Tate Reeves. I don't know. What is he? Is he a Democrat or a Republican? Child, I don't know. Anyways, that's it for right now. But I don't know about that Tate Reeves. Child, he is a mess. So I really don't think the governor will be up with anything, to be honest. Jonathan Tate Reeves, an American politician serving as the 65th governor of Mississippi since 2020, a member of the Republican Party. Reeves served as a 32nd lieutenant governor of Mexico. Nah, child, I can't say right now. I'll have to finish this live, talk about it another time. But child, I don't trust no Reeves. That's why I say without a doubt reference to the mugshots. Good night, all. Thanks for joining this evening. If you have not already, please hit that like button on your way out. Enjoy the remainder of your weekend. Ciao. Yeah, girl. Okay, I get that. That's my mind right there. She's like, it's time to go. Time to go. Bye, y'all. Hit the like button on your way out. Yeah, he is a Republican. And I'm not saying just all Republicans are a certain way. Don't go taking that out to eat. But I'm saying when I can't even talk right now. I'll just do another live another time, and I can actually talk about everything that I've been from the phone calls. Okay. Because like I said, I don't know who's ever listening or watching or anything else. I want them to be prepared on Monday when I make more phone calls. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Bye. Hit the like button and we out. And thanks sincerely me for modding and everybody else for modding. Good night, Gwen. And these links are easy to remember. Change.org /Shanquella and change.org /Jalen Lewis. Easy peasy.